Hello, hey everybody. How's it going? I am Get Off McLeod. This is my good friend DM Giza Jim. Um, we are talk-
Good evening. How y'all doing?
yeah, we thought we'd get together and have a chit chat. Some old fogies talking about D and see where the conversation takes us. Really, it's not like you know we don't have a lot of thought on a lot of things, but realistically, it's more of a place just to see the discourse and see like the decision making process, how these topics that our players bring to us sometimes, how how we make decisions, or if we even make a decision, just roll a dice to figure it out. Realistically, yeah. But go ahead, Jim.
Yeah,
You can give yourself a good introduction if you'd like.
well, your channel, you go first. First and foremost, thanks for hosting us, man. I appreciate it. I stream during the daytime. We kind of have a lunchtime D&D chat.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is your first stream, so get
Ever.
out there, man. Kind of talk about what you want to do, and who are you, brother? Uh, what are the plan? What are your long-term plans for this channel? And when I start talking, I don't shut up. So go while you can, brother.
That is not a bad thing, especially if you have the good things to say. Yeah, I'm Get Off a Cloud. I'm a DM, DM over on Sparkles Mandy's channel. So, first off, thank you very much to the RPGsidebar.com and Miss Sparkles Mandy for helping put this whole thing together, kind of giving us a platform that we've played on. Jim's come to play with us a couple times. We had a lot of good guests. I've been DMing for them for, I think, coming up on three years maybe. I think either 3 or 4. I can't remember. The years kind of run together. I think 3. But we have a ton of games over there. We have a Vecna homebrew because I blame Jim, but I was going to run Vecna Eve of Ruin, and then I started talking to Jim about Vecna, realized that, oh, this is not going to be a fun time for me. So we started homebrewing things, and we're having a much better time.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
We do that's Sunday night at 5 Central. Monday we do Curse of Strahd at 8 p.m. Central. It's a homebrew Curse of Strahd because I've run Curse of Strahd a bunch of times, and there's a lot of things to. I mean, it's the technically, and you could weigh in on this, Jim, because I'd love your opinion. I know you're not the biggest fan of Strahd, but at the same time, they say it's the best WotC campaign that they've put out. It still gets voted number one, and thoughts.
Well, I mean, Strahd is a very relatable NPC romantic BBEG, and he was back in 1986 when they put him out in I6 Ravenloft.
Yep.
Um, that's the first and foremost. He's an accessible bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Vampire Lord with the cursed love life and blah blah. Only they don't say blah blah blah, right?
Yeah, I think he
Sorry.
does. You've been saying the
And
same spiel
honestly,
for a couple hundred years. You kind of go blah blah blah
well,
in your head.
and here's the thing: I cannot tell a lie. We played the shit out of Ravenloft. We got language warnings up, right?
Uh,
Or do I gotta filter?
you do not have to filter. I don't know how to do
Okay,
it.
cool. Just
Oh, hold
making
on.
sure.
We curse. We talk. We're not necessarily raunchy, but we do curse. We have language. So if you're not 18 and up, and your mom is probably going to be upset for being here, check out. Catch you next time.
Well,
Oh,
for me, it's about
hey,
sentence enhancers. If you're a SpongeBob fan, that's how I make a little bit of
that's
points.
fair.
But yeah, we played I6 a ton. Oh,
Yeah. Hey,
Grim and
Sparkles.
Gummy
Hey,
and
Grim.
Sparkles. Hey
Hi
guys.
guys. How you doing? You guys. I hope the
Hopefully,
games are going
don't
well.
get shot while you're watching us,
Yeah, for
man.
real.
But y'all kick some ass over there. Take some names. We'll see you in a bit. Good luck,
They're whooping up on some COD right now.
man. I love. I'm not gonna lie. I watch a few of my friends to support them when they're shooting
Mm-hmm.
on their shootery games.
Mm-hmm.
But I like watching them. I was giggling so hard when they were walking around there. Zombie! Zombie! I was like, I can't stop watching this. This is insane.
Mm-hmm. Frankly, it's a good time if in my opinion, if you can get Mandy where she's salty, and then Gummy and Grim start to kind of feed into it. Oh, take my money. It's freaking
They've
great.
been fun to watch. Yeah, I
Yeah.
usually come home. I run games up at the shop. Usually get home around 11:30, and I
Mm.
usually kind of tune into the end of their stream. That's what kind of inspired us to doing this. It's like, dude, we're both up.
Let's do it.
They're out there kicking some ass with bullets. Let's run our D&D mouths, yo.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing too. So yeah, and getting back to D&D. I
Strahd.
mean,
We see. Here's the thing. If we go conscious, streaming conscious, we're gonna get all fucked up. So let's finish up on the Strahd thing.
I'll do my best to kind of keep us on track. But to be fair, it's going to be the blind leading the blind.
That's true, brother.
But I'm good with that. So yeah, I know that listening to your stream, I did check out I6, and like I told you the other day, like it's literally the same adventure as Curse of Strahd. They have.
It's a good
Oh
adventure,
yeah, yeah.
and Wizards did a lot, and I have to give credit where it's due. And honestly, most of my issue with Curse of Strahd is exhaustion,
Hmm.
and it's a very challenging scenario to put a new DM and new players
Yeah.
in. But the modern gamers tend to, oh, what's the best? I'm going to do that first,
Right.
you know,
Exactly.
and then it does not run well. It isn't run well, you
Hmm.
know. Um, I think they need to do like a maybe not Wizards. There's honestly dozens of supplements
Oh
out
yeah.
there. New GM,
Hmm.
pay attention to this shit.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
12. If you roll 3d4 wolves and you roll 11 wolves in the middle of the night on encounter one,
Don't do it.
yeah.
See, this is where like in a lot of areas where I do like when DMs fudge rolls sometimes because, like, yeah, you're gonna roll your 2d4 wolves for a level 1 party and you're gonna get, maybe you get 7 or 8 and you're like, I rolled 3. I'm gonna put 3 out there because they can take that. This isn't supposed to be a hard encounter. They're supposed to keep them on their toes, but
Yeah.
I think a lot of first time DMs, well, the book says this, so I'm gonna do this, and that's how you TPK your party. To be fair, when I was running the group through,
Or
yeah,
that's how you give them the Sun Sword in the chapel across the street because you drew their Taroka deck and you followed exactly what it said, not
yeah, don't do that
knowing
either.
the pace of the game or the scope of the land of Barovia, and you just go through that, and all of a sudden you realize they got the Sun Sword at level 3 because I drew it and it was sitting. Oh God, what did I
The
do?
worst one,
And
it's
you don't know that as a new DM.
the worst one. I don't even know why this option.
Crazy
Madame
man.
Eva has the Sun Sword. Why?
Yeah,
Why?
right. So, but again, that's one of those things that it's a good idea. It's a good story. It's a good module. The challenge is
Hi,
you get
Graham.
so much player agency,
Hmm.
coupled against the very defined structure of Barovia
Right.
and of the storyline that it can either push a DM into a position where they make a bad call and have to stick with that call over the course of the game to keep them consistent, and it's
Hmm.
sabotaged at the end of it, or all of a sudden it's like, no, I'm Strahd, I can suddenly do all this other shit, and then
Hmm.
that kind of breaks the immersion for the players
Yep.
because the consistency and the theme of the campaign and the pace of the campaign suddenly gets fractured
Hmm.
to try to balance it. It's a hard module for inexperienced GMs to run well.
Right.
Everyone I've ever talked to, I'm going to do a shout out to one of the shop GMs, GM Haley.
Hmm.
She runs Curse of Strahd exclusively, and
Oh,
she is a grand master on Curse of Strahd, but that's all she runs. She's
right.
got 3 of them running right now at the shop, and it's like, the people that are bored of it come play Shadows of Barovia with me.
Then you, well, and to be fair too, that's another good point about Curse of Strahd is it's a long, drudgy campaign that your players, like as a DM, you do have to keep in mind the morale of your players. You have to keep in mind this is a rough, macabre environment, and it can tire them out. You talked about that on one of your horror streams last month, which was
Oh, yeah.
they get to be. Is that purple?
No, Sparkles just dropped in.
Oh, hello.
Purple's sleepy. She got to work tomorrow.
Oh,
Hi,
poor
everyone.
thing. Hello, guys. Hey, Turbo. Oh, I got people. This is different. There's people talking.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on it. Hey,
I
Cryo. Hey,
appreciate.
Bane.
Hey,
Good to see y'all.
Bane.
Thanks for dropping in. I actually need to move this over here so I don't keep looking away from the camera.
Grim, you win. You win knowing things and subbing. Appreciate the sub. I didn't know you could sub to non-affiliated streamers, but I'm down for it. That's awesome. Thank you.
Good to see y'all. Thanks for dropping in. Yeah, we're
Oh,
just hanging,
did I not
chatting,
make
man.
you a mod, Grim? How do I? I will figure that out, Grim. I'm not a good on the fly person. Um, but anyway, but that is something you have to keep in mind with this campaign and a couple other ones too. Like first time DMs, don't run Tomb of Annihilation. That's a rough one.
Nope.
There's a lot of
Nope.
mechanics involved in that. I think that like for like
Our stream for Cloud. Woo.
they usually get to see me where I am the person in control and I am calm, cool, and collected. Well, not calm, cool, I'm at least in charge. And here I'm like, am I doing it right? But and by the way, Jim, I don't ever want to hear you say that you're a Luddite ever again. This was actually a little difficult setting all this up.
I mean, kinda, I guess. It was so hard for me that as long I haven't, I think I told you the other day, I haven't updated fucking OBS in months.
Mm-hmm.
I keep pushing remind me later, and I'll keep doing that until it finally stops working because I know it's going to clear all of my horse shit, and I don't remember how I set it up a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, I
it's
don't.
going to be scary for me.
You got to
But
go. I have
yes,
to go
I am.
revamp. I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't even know where that stuff is. Dang.
Mhm. But getting back on it, that is my favorite campaign. But I did play through it as a player before I even thought of running it, and I thought the DM did
Yeah.
a wonderful job for it. We didn't finish it. We got all the way to Valak, and then life happened, as most campaigns they tend to do these days. Is they well, not even these days. They did a lot when I was a kid too, but they
Well,
fizzle
they
out.
do these days, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, on it, I think again, I do have to do one caveat here. I am a professional paid DM. Most of my games are ran live. I run about 18 to 22 games a month up at RPG Dungeons. Shameless shout out. Um,
I got my
so
Sparkles Batty hat on.
a lot of yeah, yeah, we're straight up. A lot of the comments or the advice that I probably will provide will be coming from that standpoint. And it does differ from friends and family tables.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing you always got to remember is D&D is a game of relationships and interaction with those relationships. And when you come built in as friends and family, you're just this is instead of playing Monopoly, instead of playing planes, trains, whatever is that fucking Ticket to Ride. Now we're
Yeah.
playing D&D, and that's cool. But there's other things, and a lot of for what you guys are doing on over on I guess what we're doing now on Mandy's stream is there's a lot of people that are new to the game, new to the purse, just coming in out of the blue wanting to
Mm-hmm.
play. So you have to keep the different exposure players in mind. So I just want to throw that out there.
No, that's perfect.
You know,
I mean, the one thing that I was excited about is talking with you because as a DM, we have our own thoughts about how things work, but also going on to hello, Jim K. Bones. Wow, you're up late, man. Hope you're feeling better.
welcome,
He
brother.
was sick earlier this week, if I remember correctly. But one of the things that I was excited about is that we have our own opinions, we have our own ideas. You're a pay to play DM, which is basically a PR nightmare for me. I don't have that kind of patience, so kudos to you. But at the same time, you have to be a lot more fair than I feel I have to be, because realistically, people paid hard cash to get to play on your table, and I'm sure
Yeah,
there's a waiting
absolutely.
list as well. So you're a sought after commodity. So you got to keep up your brand, you got to keep up the shop's brand, and you have to make sure that everybody's having a good time. That's
Yeah.
got to be a lot of thought involved in that. Yes, I'm
It, it,
fantastic.
it's
Good.
dude. It's been a process.
Yeah. How did you how'd you
It's
how'd
definitely
you
been a process.
how'd you break into that?
Go
By the
ahead.
way, I know there's a lot of DMs out there. We all man, it'd be the dream to DM for a living and just do that. But is it
Yes.
okay?
There was a hesitation there because it is a lot of work. It is a lot of time. It leaves me extremely drained most days. But knowing that I get to enjoy people, I get to help people enjoy their fantasies, and impersonate and take the place of these mythical characters as they go do all this crazy shit, and help and they're also I truly believe that all my characters are building their story, all my players, excuse me, are building their stories along the way. So and I get to fucking play D&D and get paid. I mean, let's not forget about that.
Yeah, right.
So it's it is hard though, balancing the consistency in tables, making sure to yeah, people are paying for a product.
Hmm.
There's no doubt about it.
Hmm.
It's like I was kind of joking with one guy. He's like, dude, we've been running this for 2 years, and if there's not a big old monstrosity of a payout after, excuse the math, but 26, $1,500 in tickets. Shop side.
Yeah.
That's not my share.
Oh,
That's not
trust
my
me,
share.
I'm a consultant at work. I don't get what they charge for my time. I understand.
So, but and you start thinking about that, and it's like, holy shit, six people have invested. That's 9 grand that they've invested in this shop and their time and into this story. So there gets to be some pressure, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Right, exactly. And on top of that, I mean, just coupled in, like, for instance, I think the most nervous I've ever, well, I had like a top three nervous I've ever been. Hello, Belle. Oh my God, everybody's here. I totally didn't even see Mandy raided me. I was like, oh, everybody's here. Hi guys. But the most nervous I've ever been DMing for Gen Con. That was nervous. I was exceptionally nervous because I was working for a third party content producer, and I wanted to do a good job because they had to sell books, otherwise they paid all that money for the table and they get nothing. So that DMing for some of the guys who come in our guest nights can be a little scary because some of these guys have been around for a while and they know the old school D&D Twitch community is actually I'm finding out, very small community. You throw names around like Havoc RPG, Lord Gazumba, some of these guys that everybody just seems to know, Bel Muerte, and I remember Mandy was streaming, I think, a year or two ago, and Belle just pops in and she's like, "Hi." I'm like, "I don't know who that is. Who is this? Oh my God." And then I saw Larian come in from the Fantasy Grounds Academy, and Rob Tui and some of these big guys. And you get the idea. Everybody just knows everybody. So getting to play with some of them or getting to DM for them is honestly huge. The fact that you came to play with us is like huge to me as well. I think I told you I was stressing hardcore before you came to play with us because for those of you who don't know, Jim is I don't want to go into guys, I don't want to give airs, but he knows a lot about lore. You honestly know more, I think, than I probably have. You probably forgotten more than I know at this current point. But at the same time, you've been playing for an extensive amount of time, and one of the things that I love that you say, like I remember, I think it was gift to Gabby in your chat. I think she said on Friday, like, how do you get that gift of what you do? And you're like, just play.
No, that was GM Rachel.
Oh, thank you. That was GM Rachel. Yes. Shout out to GM Rachel if you happen to be here. And
dude, but that's really what it comes down to, is reading it, consuming it as a DM, playing around with it in your brain, letting it mix with your own little stories, your own little ideas, or being inspired by a book or a video game or a TV show or a 30-second fucking short that suddenly turns into this huge adventure idea. That's the joy for me as a DM on the creative and on that side of it, is you take inspiration from different things, or you have an original idea, but D&D gives you a framework to kind of build your idea around something that you can act with other people. Either that or you're just writing a short story, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I'm a sucky writer, so I'm glad I get to do the interaction. I'm a great business writer. I'm a great contract writer, but D&D people don't want to read contract style shit, man. It is what it is.
If I can't sleep, I'd be more than happy to, but besides that.
Yeah, so, but, it gives us an interactive opportunity to put our idea, you and I have joked about that and said, there's a lot of pride and ego, whether we want to admit it or not, in being a DM, because I truly have to believe that my ideas and my story and my way of being able to present them and interact with you guys enough to make you want to do it. You got to believe in yourself, and you got to really, have that foundation and knowledge and that confidence, but not arrogance, because you also got to remember, without your players, it's just a fucking idea floating around in here, man. And they're the ones that flesh it out, whether you believe it or not. They're the ones that are making it into what it is. It's not once they get engaged, we're patching this and putting a bridge over here and moving that dragon back over here. Because the players are building it, they're pushing it forward. Whether you're running a published module or a homebrew, it ends up being that way.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like a
story is great.
Sometimes I feel like a switchboard operator. Sometimes I'm plugging this, plugging it over there. Like, if I could, I couldn't count the amount of times where I've had a player, wouldn't it be funny if? And I'm like, I'm doing that. Let me write that down really quick. They move the story along. And to be fair, it does. If you're any kind of if you're not against the party, and if you're playing with the party, not against the party, you see how they play the game, and maybe this is a sneaky encounter. They ain't a bunch of sneaky motherfuckers. There's that language, and they're not sneaky at all. So you go, well, how do I make it so it's still a dangerous-ish kind of an encounter, but I want to kind of lean into their play style a bit more. I love my Sunday group, the Mandalorians. They are amazing. They were the first group I ever DM on Twitch, but at the same time, they run in and just hit shit.
Yeah.
And I've talked to Mandy a lot of times, like, stealth is a thing, guys. Stealth is a thing. And she's like, no, it's not. No, why? They're just gonna find us anyway. I'm like, that's fair. That's fair. Okay. So now I have to work
Well,
around that.
yeah, I mean that's true, and that's kind of it almost becomes a design mechanic
Hmm.
that if you want to encourage stealth, you have to reward stealth,
Hmm.
even if it's a situation where that's 150 feet, man.
Yeah.
They've made 50 of it. They're trying. You know what? I'm gonna let them get across just because I want to encourage them to try to play that stuff.
Hmm.
And sometimes it's in the weirdest positions where you got to do it.
Yep.
But if they continually do it and we all succeed on our stealth, we all succeed on our stealth. We get to the top of the wall. A guard turns around the corner. Fuck. Why do we go through all that sneaky ass climbing ninja rope, putting rags around our weapons and go? I want to reward that kind of play.
That
So
is.
I'm gonna
Mhm.
fail my fucking perception every time
Yep.
when the party does it. You know?
One of my favorite things that they actually never see is like, okay, you stealth 50 feet of the 150. Well, now instead of 8 monsters over there, there's only 4 or 6 because they might have just
Yeah.
they might have tottered off, and they won't ever know that. But you reward it because you're like, oh, okay, you're trying. And part of me sometimes at the end of the session will be like, you guys actually did a really good job. No, we failed. Well, this is what could have happened. And I know that sometimes that can be counterproductive, but at the same time, I want them to see behind the scenes what their efforts actually pay out to be.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you an example from about 2.5 hours ago.
Okay.
I jumped the party with 3 invisible stalkers. It's 6 level 10 players. Not the hardest encounter ever.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest. But they were a little bit low on resources. No one had fairy fire. At the end of the night, they were kicking themselves, but they didn't have any magical resources at all
Mm-hmm.
to sense these 3 invisible stalkers. So I was feeling really bad for them because if you can't see it, you can't do a lot of stuff to it.
Right.
And invisible stalkers are permanently invisible, guys. You can't dispel it. You can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
They can do whatever they want. And they don't lose it, right,
Mm-hmm.
brothers?
Yep.
So I went ahead and started making big deals about you get kicked from the left side and you feel a little of a whoosh of an arrow. Do you want to try to flail at it? Now, I'm not supposed to give them opportunity attacks against an invisible creature. You got to see it to, make an opportunity attack.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to give them a couple.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the encounter before they had fought oh gosh, what is it? A cinder golem, cinder giant, an elemental creature. When it blows up, it leaves this huge cloud of cindery gas or
Okay.
cinders and ashes that does 2d6 damage
Mm-hmm.
and obscures. But when it fades, it fades.
Mm-hmm.
So they were like, "Can we go get?" They didn't even ask if they could do it. We're the two fastest, so we're gonna go back where that last encounter was. We're gonna get some handful of ashes and try to throw it at these guys.
Okay.
Now, mechanically, that doesn't do a thing.
Okay.
Okay, within the rule, throwing dust at an invisible creature, that's a DM's judgment there.
Yeah.
You can always argue it, but and then an invisible stalker is just whirling air that punches you.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no corporal form to reveal anyway.
Yep.
But because they made the effort, I was like, I'll let you see the outline of it for one round.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I'm gonna grab 2 or 3 handfuls, and they ended up doing some, they ended up killing the 3 of them. But it was one of those things within the rules they weren't supposed to be able to do it, but because they made the effort, they made the thought.
Mm-hmm.
I went ahead and respected it and made basically a compromise of what you're trying to say makes sense. This is what I want you to understand as we do this. And then my bard is like, yeah, I would be really fucking pissed off if I cast my improved invisibility and he threw pocket sand at me and you could see me. So I'm going to go with the DM on this one. He's like, because this will cut both ways. So I want to respect that.
That's absolutely fair, and another good thing to do if you're for a new DM. Like, don't. I mean, you and I both are pretty much rules as written for the most part.
Yeah.
I would say 95% of the time, maybe I'm rules as written. Rule of cool. I mean, I like the okay. Well, if it's cool, let's find a way to do it in the rules.
Exactly.
But at the same time, sometimes you can look at the situation physically and go, I can see how that could work. Okay, we'll let it
Let's
work that way.
figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's figure out a way to do it. Let's figure out a skill check. Let's figure out. So I said I have to make a DC 12 dexterity save
Mm-hmm.
as you throw the shit at the wind, and I
Fair.
failed it. And my dice suck when I'm in live. I'm not gonna lie.
You roll really good on Fantasy Grounds.
Dude, I roll. I think it's just one of those sheer volumes of rolls I make
Probably.
between skills, saves, attacks, all of that. My averages are always It's like, make it a save, made a save. Oh, it's my time to attack. Miss, miss, miss. Oh, saving throw, save. Attack, miss, miss, miss.
That's that is me with zombies. Is literally I will nail undead fortitude every single time, but those sons of bitches can't slam for nothing. Like I'm gonna attack. No, I'm not. I have advantage.
This is a
So
ninja zombie. He always has flanking. Fuck, he still missed.
but yeah, so we do come from two very different DMing backgrounds. You do live in person, how most of us learned how to play, which was you physically there, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of nostalgia about that. I still wish I could sit down and physically roll dice more often than I ever get a chance to, which is I think once in 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's I'm kind of busy as we all are, but
Yeah.
at the same time, like I come from a solely, except for a couple of events like Gen Con and what have you, virtual DMing, and I feel that it's harder to keep players engaged virtually, but the ease of DMing using like Fantasy Grounds, for instance, is an amazing virtual tabletop. Takes care of a lot of the thought for you. Like I don't have to remember that you dodge. I just put the dodge thing on you and it does it automatically. So there's a lot of give and take, and I feel that there's a good space for both of them. But the nostalgia, I don't know, is ever going to be there for something that's like oh, I play on Foundry and I just really miss playing on Foundry. No, I miss like when the DM would rip up a character sheet because your character died or something. That was like, oh,
Well, I
damn.
I ran when I got back into 2020 5e.
Uh,
Uh, I guess it was I started playing again, really playing with my kid after his group died out with COVID.
mm-hmm.
All the schools cut down all of that shit. So
Yep.
it's like, you know what? Fine. I've been reading. Let's do it. So I got into online, back into 5e online.
Okay.
And I struggled with Roll20 because I'm a cheap bastard, and it's like you can load a 6 meg map. What the?
No, you can't.
So I adapted my or not my fantasy, my
Roll 20.
campaign cartographer.
Oh,
I just
okay.
used that as a streamed virtual tabletop.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always completely sidestepped the virtual tabletop using D&D Beyond's digital tools,
Mm-hmm.
and then just using my mapping program as a virtual tabletop. So
Mm-hmm.
I'd done that for probably a year and a half, 2 years before I started getting back into live games here and there, and then 2 years and 6 months it's been up at RPG Dungeons.
What a great ride.
Yeah.
What a great ride. So you came. What were you doing? Were you not playing D&D at all before you started playing with your son, or was it?
We stopped after about 2 years of 4E.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot
So
longer
there
than
was a
most people
gap.
played
There was probably about a 4 year gap where I wasn't playing D&D.
Mm-hmm.
Kept buying the books, reading all this stuff, but not actively playing.
Fair
Just
enough.
always digging through my old nostalgic this and that.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could play again. Let's play Magic. We could. There's 5 of us here. Instead of doing fucking what was Arch Enemy, we could play D&D. No, what is it? 4E sucks. Well, I could teach you guys 1E. No. Guys, Thaco is not that hard.
It's
man.
not.
Come on.
It's just a little
It's
bit
not
of
that
math.
hard, guys.
But then, like, I didn't. So coming into that exact statement, I've tried to explain to some of my newer players who've only ever played 5e what Thaco is, and it's like, man, explaining this sounds actually more complex than it really is.
It absolutely is,
Mm-hmm.
because you have to explain the whole fact that the armor class was a descending number to begin with,
Yep.
which you're like, why? Don't worry about why. Let me finish what I'm saying.
Don't get hung up.
And then Thaco is this, and it's like, why? And you're like, you know what? You're right.
And then you get to find you're like AC, and I just have to. Oh, this is easy. Okay, and that was actually one of the improvements that 5e made that I was actually really happy about. I didn't know I was going to like it at first, but not having to sit there and add 2 minus is of a -2. I have a plus,
Well,
it was a lot easier.
I mean, 3 and 3.5 have ascending armor classes, but you got like 3 armor classes in every damn thing you got to keep track of, and you
Yep.
got 11 modifiers above and below that, and then you've got 4 more modifiers to add on the damage, then you've got all the negation and the resistant to add on it, and after about a 40-second equation, you do 2 damage.
And you're like, hey.
And then the player is going to argue every step of that. Oh, you're right. I missed this. You got 4 damage. My bad. I mean, I love the detail. I love the potential. That's my neurodivergency at work, dude. If you can give me a rule for everything, I love it, and that's what I really love and appreciate about Pathfinder and 3.
Mm-hmm.
But good God, I want to play D&D. I don't want to. I don't want to argue math all night.
No.
And that's why 5e is my sweet spot, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I absolutely agree with you on that one. Plus, I find that the barrier to entry is a lot smaller than it was before, and I don't know if that's necessarily the addition with the new mechanics, or if it's just that it's really cool right now. You have all these shows that are doing really big. It's really hyped up right now. The Critical Role is supposed to drop their next animated series here coming up, and that's gotten all kinds of noise about it. And so, once again, I don't know that it's that 5e's easier to digest, or if it's just the fact that it's just the it thing right now.
Well, I'm going to throw this out here to you. I think it's a little bit of both, and it reminds me of 1E, 2E days.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. And I'm not trying to be a dick, but Wizards has not done a good job of putting together good books.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
It took them to 2024, in my opinion, to make a genuine, youthful Dungeon Master's Guide in regards to teaching a DM how to run the game. Obviously, there's been more, other editions have had a lot more information, whether this, an environmental that and da 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 da. But as far as a new DM going, I need to read this book so I can learn how to play the game,
mm-hmm.
and going, how do I play the game?
Right.
Oh, finally, chapter 7, I got to how to play a game. What the?
Oh, apparently, according to Bane, the Mighty Nine first episode is on YouTube, so go check that out if you're into that. But absolutely, I mean, if you don't like reading, even though you're playing a game that's book oriented, if you don't like reading, you can go over to Jim's DM Geezer Jim's YouTube channel, where I believe you read the 2024 DM's guide, right?
Yes, we have the 2024 Dungeon Master's Guide basically in audiobook with a little bit of commentary. I'll apologize in advance if you're a Bastion fan. I think I restrained myself pretty well as I read through that. But yeah, read it word for word. We looked at the tables on the videos because I have to acknowledge time and also the differences in learning and reading styles have changed
mm-hmm.
as the breadth as D&D has become a much widely accepted game, and a lot more people participating in it. I got to acknowledge that people, read differently and intake information differently. And
mm-hmm.
so it's kind of like me practicing what I preach. I say, RTFM, you know what? This is I believe in this book enough where I'm going to spend way too many hours reading it to you.
Fair. Absolutely. And I mean, we could even amend RTFM, read the fucking manual, to listen to the fucking manual at least. Yeah. LTFM.
And that was the worst part of about that last video I did on the Devils. I was like, this series can go for fucking ever because I'm gonna read so much shit about so many different things. And it's like, we're gonna talk about Avernus, but I'm gonna get into Bell and Zariel's relationship in a different section, and then we'll talk about Zariel in regards to it's
well, you bit off a big old hunk.
I love the idea, but it's so much, dude.
Jim, you basically bit off the entire Satanic Panic in like one bite. We're doing demons and devils. Do you know how many layers of the abyss there are? I know you know how many layers of the abyss there are.
Well, but that's been the fun thing about it is mm-hmm. starting in the first edition, saying this is what it looked like then, this mm-hmm. is what they changed it to after Panic, mm-hmm. this is where we're at now. So technically, the abyss has been infinite since second edition Planescape. So I'm clear, baby. I don't have to say that number.
It's just that one with the one more, and then you can that one. But like honestly, there's lore in there because like you can't know everything about all the things. It's impossible. You're talking about 51 years now of D&D, where some really creative minds and some that bullshit good have created a lot of really good lore. And then when you get all of like if you get all of the Forgotten Realms, then you got Athos, you got Eberron, you got Planescape, you got all this other noise that maybe your players want to go play on. To be fair, I introduced Eberron to our Tuesday group as a lark to see if they even would like it. And
really?
Yeah, I've read about it. I remember when Keith Baker released it back in 3.5, and I read the campaign guide, thought it was really awesome. Never got a chance to play it. And then we were looking for something to do on Tuesdays, and I was like, This other, and I'm a fan of the like a variety of magic, but it's low level magic that is throughout the entire, the entire setting. Because you get used to like Faerun, which is high magic. There's a lot of magic, some really amazing spellcasters. Oh, I need a +3 magic sword. You go to Waterdeep, you're gonna find one. Whereas you go to
My
Eberron,
campaign, baby.
you don't just have them over at John's Armor Shop for 50 gold. No.
Well, you've heard my rant on that. There's 152 noble houses that live in Waterdeep that have more money than your players. As soon as John's Magic Shop has it,
It's gone.
151 other houses are waiting for the next one. Sorry, bro. You're
And so then you get
unless
to
you're sitting. If you truly wanted to role play sitting in line, waiting for your next shot amongst 200 or 300 people for the one item that might become available that week, sure, we'll do it.
See,
that's how I always write it off. Though.
But and that's also the line too, where like as a DM, I like to get into the nitty gritty. I want to get into, well, what are the houses doing at this exact moment in Waterdeep? What are the masked lords doing? What's the economy like? What time period are we in right now? So I know how much money is actually going out of that city. Because if you're going to, I don't know, if you're going to Daggerford and it's post spell plague, you're not getting magic items.
No,
Any of them. There's not going to be enough gold going around to buy yourself probably a plate mail set of armor is probably going to cost a lot more because they're way rarer back then.
2,800 ish.
Yeah, ish.
And 5e numbers. And
yeah.
5e numbers.
That's double because they're 1,500 off normal. So, but like
that's what I would charge your ass in Daggerford for armor that would fit you if you absolutely demanded as a cut. And I'm speaking as a paid professional GM right now. If one of the people that pays me to play with me and tips me said, I want plate mail in Daggerford, I'm going to say, you managed to find one old suit and the blacksmith says that he could work about 3 days to get it refitted for you, but it's going to cost you this much. And at that point, it's like, that's a lot of money. I'll just wait till we get to Waterdeep. Okay.
but that's a lot of a lot of real world issues. You're not going into the Walmart.
Money is no object. What up?
Yeah, exactly. Money is not. Yes, it is. Well, supply is an object.
Okay, I was about to say, for Funkywood, good to see you. He's actually one of the other house GMs, and he plays in my.
Oh, cool! Welcome.
You know the Desert Bee campaign that I always cry about that beats me like a drum.
Yeah.
He's one of the drumsticks in that group.
Oh, okay.
Good to see you. Thanks for dropping in, brother. Appreciate you being here. But in their case, money is not an object, but it's also nigh useless to them. They broke the curse of Amun-Re early on in the Desert of Desolation campaign, and Amun-Re was basically this neat religious / super hyper greedy fanatic who became overlord over the Robin Desert. This is like ancient Forgotten Realms history, for the record. It is modules I3, I5, Desert of Desolation. It was actually a Hickman project as well.
Oh, cool.
The creators of Dragonlance and Weiss, the purveyors of the original Ravenloft, FYI.
Yes.
Great module series. A lot of work to translate to 5e. Anyway, sidebar. They broke the curse. Amun-Re had been gathering the treasures from all of the surrounding kingdoms he was capturing to a central location. And basically everyone's like, you suck, you suck, you suck. And they killed him, and he cursed the land as soon as if you for slaying me, the river Athos shall, in Osiris's name, cease flowing. The desert will return to the rot that it is. So they got like several kingdoms worth of money in that pyramid.
Yep. To be fair, Cryo Dragonlance holds a special place, and I think if you're over 30, 35, Dragonlance probably is right here. It was. Yeah. I told you, Jim, the other day. It was my introduction into D&D lore and the stories that go on, that create some of the campaigns that we do. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right there, man. Sometimes I think everybody's younger than me, and it's nice that sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes. It's okay, Jim. It's okay. Let me have that one.
I'm just hoping for. I think there's one. I think Chase is a little older than me.
I think Chase is a year or two older than you, from what I remember in chat.
That's like literally the only dude that's older than me that I get to interact with. I feel like I guess I'm an old motherfucker, man.
You know what though?
T-shirt gaming, man. DM T-shirt Jim. I'm embracing it, baby.
I was talking to another streamer the other day. It was thanks
you guys don't
Dirt.
look a day over. Thank you so much, Jim.
Hey, I'm mud. He's dirt. I still got some moisture.
You still got moisturizer going on. I'll catch up. I'll catch up.
Yeah, that's for your hands because winter's coming.
No, that's from my face. I genuinely, I joke quite often that I probably am lizard-ish because it's like I'll scale up whenever the seasons start changing.
Mm.
You know, it's like, yeah, I gotta moisturize.
Oh, you have a face care routine. That's awesome.
If I start scratching at it, I rub some lotion on it instead. That's it.
There you go. There you go. Oh no, I was talking to another streamer, Havoc RPG, the other day, and I think he was playing Neverwinter, and so we were just shooting the shit, and it was very interesting that a lot of the older guys, not your age, but probably 20-ish years your senior, these guys that the Ed Greenwoods of the area, they're kicking out, man. I mean, it's their time to go, and when they call your number to go upstairs, that's your time. And we're losing a lot of good lore, and I'm glad to see that there's a couple of us that are either trying to learn it, trying to talk about it, or trying to at least maintain it. That's right, Bell.
50 is young, damn straight.
50's the new 40.
Well, I mean, I think it's the difference. My wife and I laugh about it a lot because she'll hear me. She'll just hear me talking. Oh, I'm an old motherfucker. I'm sorry, guys. She's like, I'm 2 years older than you. What does that make me, asshole? And I'm like,
No.
A well cared for, lovely woman, not a broke down beat ass. I grew up watching Rambo and thought I was supposed to rub dirt in every cut kid. I'm sorry,
I sit back and I just wonder, like, I look at my wife and I'm like, men age, but women it's not the same. Like, things are changing on the face, and I'm not very happy about it. And my wife still looks the same age she did like 10 years ago, but I guess that's good genes.
Yeah, right, Bane?
Walk it off,
rub some dirt on it, man.
You'll be fine, probably.
And here's the other thing that I was joking about. It's like, I'll be okay. Don't tell mom.
Yep.
Just don't tell mom. Just pull it. I'll be okay. Just don't tell mom.
Yep. What'd you do? Nothing. I'm fine.
Nothing.
What's for dinner? Plexiderm's a thing now. My 73-year-old mother uses it, and it works wonders. She looks like she's in her 40s again. Plexiderm.
We moisturize.
See, that's
me,
fair.
I noticed that I'm getting like the crow's feet here, but they only come in when I laugh and smile. It's like, I got it.
You gotta toughen up a bit.
Ain't no laughing around here.
Don't make me throw a Kung Pao quote at you. You'll fucking drop that shit real quick.
Come on, man. I'll come back on reflex, bitch.
I'm salty. I missed putting that Kung Pao quote in by like 30 seconds on Friday.
See, Jim, that's my mom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm half Vietnamese. I look as old as the people she goes and plays cards with. Man. I think she's embarrassed sometimes. Son? That's your son?
Yes.
I'm gonna go home, Mom.
Nice to see you again. But and to be fair, I would actually think it would be really funny to sit down and hear what stories that your mom had to say about little Jim going to go and play D&D when he was knee-high to a grasshopper.
It's not a whole lot. Hey,
Hi, Lex.
I remember watching you guys do the chocolate stabby fight a couple weeks ago. That had me laughing for so much.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us.
And then they fought a chocolate monster or a chocolatier the next day because I was like,
oh damn. Okay,
it was fun.
We're gonna keep a theme going here, man. But yeah, there's not a whole lot to tell. She didn't really care that I was playing D&D. She didn't care that people were coming to the house for the weekend or I was going somewhere else to play. Until my grades sucked, which was always. And it came to, you play with stupid dice and do math and draw a picture and read and write all day and all night, but you can't do your schoolwork, I take away your D&D.
Yep.
That was the limit and the extent of her interaction with that hobby, honestly. And if I would have been more responsible, it don't matter. But yeah, she didn't really care. She'd buy me D&D books for Christmas. It wasn't as a Vietnamese expat. There were so many other things she had to deal with that what the books my son are looking at was not an issue for her. And my dad's the one that got me into the hobby, so my parents were never really restrictive on it unless I was being a dick, and then that's what they took. And kind of like how you take your kid's cell phone when they're acting like assholes now.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
exactly the same thing. I mean, I grew up, if my grades weren't good enough, TV and Nintendo went out of my room, and I had books, which wasn't really a punishment per se. I mean,
Well, and for me, it's like, okay, gee, I guess I'll pretend I'm doing geometry on my graph paper while I draw a dungeon.
yeah.
Okay, gee, instead of writing that 400-page paper on the first two chapters of Odysseus, let me just go ahead and log out next weekend's encounters when I go, because you stopped me.
Well, it was it.
But honestly, that's what I use when I'm talking to the brand new players as they come into the hobby. I run the learn to plays up at the shop,
Hmm.
and encouraging them to get into the game and that this is overblown. And don't get me wrong, I love working at the shop.
Hmm.
I love being able to use all those fucking toys and terrain, and I'll figure out how to get some of those pictures too if you want me to use them
Hell
once in a
yeah,
while.
man.
But more than that, I try to sit down with these people and go, okay, you guys got to understand, you literally need the basic rules that are free to go print off of D&D Beyond. You need to get a $2.99 set of Timu dice.
Hmm.
Who cares if they roll like shit? They'll roll like shit for everyone, so it's equal, right?
Right.
And you need pen and paper and imagination. And I described the story of those guys down in our death row
Hmm.
that are playing D&D, and the warden is actually, you know what? These guys are interacting positively with each other. He had interviewed one of the kids, and he's like, "This is I had overheard them talking about he was trying to figure out how, if I spend money on this, I'm not gonna be able to do that. Can we go find a job to get more money?" It's like, if this kid would have had any of that in his youth, he
Hmm.
may not have turned into a criminal the whole time.
That's
Not
fair.
saying it's a be all end all, but
No.
the social skills that they're getting with it. Now these kids are on death row. They ain't getting all of the shit. They're passing a hat up
Yeah.
and down the bars with the numbers and tearing up pieces of paper with numbers on to use for dice.
Hmm.
It was an amazing story. It was a New York Times write up about 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Um,
There's been a
so
lot of that lately though about how D&D
yeah,
is actually helps people overcome social anxiety or their own personal qualms and issues that they currently deal with day to day. And as a DM, we kind of deal. I deal a lot with that because if you do the session zero, you're like, okay, what are your triggers? What can't you deal with? What problems do you have? Because I don't want to. I want to scare you, but I don't want to hurt you. And so you hear a lot of people's and their issues, and you go, well, we can help build that. You know what, you have a problem speaking out for yourself and standing up for yourself. We should, you could play somebody that can do that. It's just practice on how to be what you want to be.
yeah. I mean, it's. I joke, but I don't. I say it is therapeutic, but it's not therapy.
Hmm. Mandy's
So
triggered by
there's
nat
certain things
ones.
that I'm going to really need you to, at a certain point, leave off to the side.
Hmm.
Triggered by nat ones.
Yep.
Oh God. I'll try to get one of my better players in here, and she can attest to the ridiculous amount of nat ones that were. I had advantage a lot tonight because 3 invisible stalkers, 2 attacks each. It's a lot. There was a lot of fucking nat ones in play. Praise the Lord that they were ignored because I had advantage the whole night. But just the sheer volume was, oh God.
You're like, and that's a
Gummy,
one
I'm with you,
in
dude.
Gummy.
Poor Morgan looked down at my leg. She was almost, I couldn't tell if she was fascinated or horrified as I was rolling my attacks going, okay, that's a 1 and a 17, 17 plus 6, 23. I can read my own dice, Morgan. They're right there. And they suck, I know. So,
I do
okay,
see these.
okay, yeah, my boy there is going to attest to, I roll unusually low at the shop, man.
Mhm. And what's funny though is like, and they're joking about Gummy rolling like crap because Gummy does in fact roll. He is our Will Wheaton of the group, and I'm very glad we play with virtual dice, so he can't come by and touch my dice because I would probably lose my shit. But it's funny how some players, I've seen players that they roll every time they play a certain class, they roll like shit. I've seen some players that that player rolls like crap, and I don't know what. We are not picking up physical dice. I'm clicking a button, and it's still bad. But we did have Gummy come down a couple years ago. With Sparkles Mandy held a little event for all the Mandalorians back then, and they all showed up at her house, and we played. I think we got through like 3 or 4 sessions of the Yawning Portal with the
Okay,
first
hell yeah.
Sun the Citadel, and
From the Citadel?
Gummy rolls really good in person.
Yeah. Well, and you saw I'm the other way because I rolled like pretty damn good the other
You
night
did.
on digital.
Hmm.
I do not roll pretty damn good at all in the real world.
I yes, I said yawning portal, Mandy. Every time I say that phrase,
So yeah, but yeah, this is fun.
mhm.
Appreciate you inviting me. Good to see everyone joining us. This is
Yeah.
actually the first episode of the Greybeard Guild, and this
Yep.
is like McLeod's first ever stream.
Yep.
See, this is poor kid. He's coming in. He's gonna start looking at his metrics. He's coming out the gate with like a 15 average. He's like, "Yeah, boy."
No, sir. I do
But we
not.
love it. Thank you guys for being here. If you're from my stream or my side of stuff, jump in chat. I mean, I'm gonna kind of try to operate the same we do over there.
Mhm.
We're both gonna be. Problem is that you got double the long-windedness here.
Yes.
So feel free to jump in, ask questions, throw comments, so we can kind of keep the conversations
Mhm.
move along, and we'd love to engage with you guys as well.
Yeah, and to be fair, we do have a topic to talk about tonight, but also
Resurrection time.
it's not necessarily we are going to stay on topic. It's an open conversation because there's a lot of people that there's I joke, but I think between Jim and I we have almost 70 years of D&D experience. Jim's carrying the majority of that, but I got a couple.
Started in '83,
I
so that would be you were 25, 42.
42 years. I started in 94, so that puts me at 21 years.
Now I got to put the caveat: it's not like I played every single week for
Fair.
every one of those 42 years.
Right.
But I also got to counter that where there were in the '80s, if you were a D&D player, Funky Wood Jam, you'd start like Friday at some dude's house, and you'd go home Sunday afternoon when their parents finally kicked your stinky asses out after playing 30 hours straight a weekend.
Yep.
And then you were sneaking in a game on the afternoon because that was what we were doing, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I mean, it's like shit. That was it. That was the shiz. Cindy always jokes. It's like I always think of whatever the kid is on fucking Stranger Things. Can we just
Eddie
play
Munson, I
D&D?
think is his name.
Well, no, not him.
Oh.
Why can't we just go play D&D?
Oh, that one.
Are we gonna play D&D?
I see the meme all over.
Bell Summers, yeah. I mean,
Yep.
shout out to my real life old school buddy Gene Cumming and his mom Liz. Man, she put up with us so much a couple of those summers. We were there 3 and 4 days a week, man. And absolutely. So it was Shadowrun after Friday football games until you know what I'm saying, right, Funky?
Band nerds.
Yeah,
Oh
right.
yeah.
Same thing, Bill. So even though there's gaps, you're playing it. It becomes part of your DNA when you do it that much. And there's a lot of people doing that now. Shit, you. How long have you been like large scale DMing?
Me?
Yeah.
Who else are you talking to? Sorry. Large scale D&D or DMing probably 3.
Like consistently once a week type stuff.
Okay, about 3 years since Sparkles Man. I had to finish college and I had to go and get into my tech career, and that kind of ate me alive for about 5 years, I think. And then when I joined the Navy, that was 4E and nobody was playing D&D back then. So I kind of left it around 2001, came back 2017. So there was a good gap in there, actually.
Yeah. And other than there are obviously a few Go Sumba looking at y'all that have been playing forever. Bell's saying that they've been playing since '81 consistently. Hell yeah, that's awesome.
That's
man.
awesome.
So it's a great hobby. And
Oh wait, no,
hopefully the
Belle's
people
doing
that-
herself a disservice, Jim. Belle doesn't just play D&D. She plays several different systems, and I don't know how she keeps all those rules straight in her head. When she came by and did a guest slot with us, she was telling me how many different games and how many different systems she plays on. I think it's like, I want to say it was 3 or 4 different systems. I can't keep 3.5 and 5e straight in my head. If I had to DM both, I'd be like, wait, hold on. What are the rules for that in this edition?
I could still run Beck Me 1 and 2. Obviously run 5. I could run 4. I do run Cyberpunk 2020. I'm just need like 3 more people so I can get a Twilight 2000 group going up at the shop. So I feel that, Bill. But it's the variety keeps it fresh.
Yeah.
Even the worst Cyberpunk game I look forward to because it's a break out of the fantasy thing.
Right.
You know, it's like we
Exactly.
only got 3 people and they're driving across fucking desert to Vegas. This is gonna be a shitty session, but we still laugh our asses off and have a great time, you know?
But see, on my end, that's why I did Eberron, because it's different. It's not the same look and feel as Faerun is. And to be fair, like, I'm starting to try to navigate away from the Sword Coast and move closer. Like, I want to do something in the Anarok Desert, because that's nothing happens there in 5e, and it's like there's all this lore they have. I mean, I was looking at the Savage Front North, the Savage Frontier book, I think it was, and there's all kinds of lore throughout there. Why aren't we doing anything out there? But
I think. Go ahead.
oh,
No,
I
keep
was
going,
going to
bro.
say, but you know, at the same time, well, what's stopping me from taking them out there? Mm-hmm.
And that's, dude, that's, self shameless promo here. That's what I try to talk. That's what we've been talking about on my stream for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Planescape's coming out in September. Guess what? It's February. Here's Planescape right the fuck now, and you can have it now,
Yep.
and you can consume more than they're going to give you,
Mm-hmm.
and you can build it into what you want instead of seeing what they give you and then having to throw away half of it. Just take the source, man.
Two
Two
Pathfinder
Pathfinder,
games.
Dragon Scale, Scammer. Oh, Traveler. Uh, salute you. Uh, those are some number crunchy games, man. I remember a little bit of Traveler 2300,
Mm-hmm.
back when we are trying to get our Twilight 2000 into sci-fi
Mm-hmm.
modes.
What you
So yeah.
what you mean? Or Planescape's coming out soon? I have the books right over here.
No, well, I was joking about that a couple of years
Oh,
ago during
okay.
our stream. That's what I'm saying.
But like,
When the
but that's the other thing. That's the other thing too. Is like, if you sit back, you can go onto DM's Guild. You can find, like, for instance, you can. I found a old copy of Expedition to Barrier Peaks. You can port that right into 5e.
yeah,
You
oh,
know,
absolutely.
and it's a crazy map, and you can get as crazy about that as you want to. It's, if you got a question on how to convert monsters from editions, Jim does a good job at that. He basically helped me out with that. But the stories are still there, and they're what we're playing on right now. That history is what we're playing on right now. And nowadays we are kind of lucky, because, like it says, okay, we're gonna go and do Rise Against the Giants, but this in Faerun this happens here, in Greyhawk this happens here, and so depending on whatever setting you're in, it gives you kind of an outline of where to put it. But you can do that yourself.
Totally, totally.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what we used to do with honestly G1 through 3.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the Barrier Peaks and the Crystal Mist Mountains are pretty fucking big.
Yeah.
So
I
it wasn't
didn't
a deal. And number
realize how
two,
big the Barrier Peaks were until Anna B. Meyer was on Ghost Zumba's channel, and she showed the
it
map,
was.
and I'm like, whoa, I had no freaking idea. Holy
I mean,
smokes.
all the love to Andy B. Meyer.
Mhm.
That map alone has gotten as many people into, on my side of the things,
Mhm.
into the world of Greyhawk
Oh, it's
as
beautiful.
any lore, as any book.
Mhm.
You throw that map, people are like, "Oh my God, what's that?"
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you a story.
But I mean,
So I
I would love to
love
see,
Greyhawk.
I would love to see a map like that for Eberron and for Athos and for all the other but I mean, I can't imagine the amount of hundreds of hours she's put into that work alone. And then I watched her on Greyhawk Con. She did this presentation about campaign cartography, and she's like, I can go through now, and I'm going to go and redo the map, because I can do, like, I think it's like something like 100 feet is a pixel now, and I'm like, holy shit, that's incredible. So I mean, hats off to Anna B. Meyer and the cartographers that make the worlds that we play on, because I am not gifted at that stuff.
I always feel like, as a parent, when my 4-year-old or 5-year-old ring up something,
Hmm.
and you're like, "That's good." That's what I feel like when I show my shit to Rafe and fucking Ray Sheeman and Mike Slay. Hey, this is what I did with your stuff. They're like, "Good job, Jim."
like with the big crayons on the big construction paper.
Yes, yes, and I make okay maps, but
Mhm.
yeah, compared to the real ones out there, it's just like this. And that's I'm not gonna bother drawing a map of Greyhawk when I have Anna's
Yeah,
map.
yeah.
I'm not gonna bother rewriting the world of Greyhawk when I have all of these Greyhawk books.
Hmm.
I'm gonna
Exactly.
take the shit that I like, and the section of the map looks really cool,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna make it work.
Yeah,
But I
absolutely.
still I'm able to seep it all in, and steep it, I guess, technically, in so much heavy lore that if my party goes that way or that way or that way,
Hmm.
that's okay, man. The author's got my back, and
Hmm.
my imagination fills in the gaps from there.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
mean,
why I love the published worlds.
but that's fair too. That's kind of reformed my stance. When I first started DMing, I was like, you got to know the lore, no railroading your campaigns. You have to let them have, player agency. And realistically, if you're a new DM, you're not going to have all the lore. You're not going to be able to sit there and know, well, they didn't go to Waterdeep. They ended up going up to Neverwinter. I don't know anything about Neverwinter. So in that essence, I'm like, I mean, I understand railroading at that point where it's like, we're just trying to play this adventure, guys. I don't know as much as I need to. If you tell me where we're going to go, I could do some research really quick, but I'm not going to have that huge breadth of knowledge.
I think I want to 100% right there. I know, unfortunately, I don't. Hopefully, we've got a couple new or fledgling DMs out there. People are thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Be willing to say what Cloud just said to your group.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, I'm new to this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to getting better at this, and I want to do this with you guys. But can we just do this so we can practice the game?
Mm-hmm.
You're not writing fucking Game of Thrones right there, son. You
No.
ain't about to lay out the trip to fucking Mordor the first time you sit down to roll a dice.
No.
Make sure to and honestly, your friends, your family, they're gonna be on board with it.
Mm-hmm.
Keep the expectations where they are, and let them understand there's a lot going on. I'm gonna make mistakes. Can we just kind of do the thing for the first couple sessions until we all kind of get better at it?
Absolutely. It's
And man,
still a
most
good
people,
time.
if they don't say, yeah, you best kick them now. 'Cause they're gonna be a toxic asshole later.
Exactly. I mean, I know that like there's been a couple times we went to the Isles to the west. Come on,
Moonshade.
Cloud. Huh? Yeah, Moonshade Isles.
Moonshade.
And I knew nothing about the Moonshade Isles. I'd never been there. I didn't realize.
Barely guilty.
I did fall in love with the setting though. It was great. There's a really good Adventurers League series that goes through there, and we ran through some of the stuff, and the lore was good. But like going in there, I'm like, guys, I know like King Kendrick, and then this area we're supposed to go to, and that's it. So please don't try to go and like up to like Fallister's Isle or anything like that because I don't know what that is.
Big storm blows you south. You don't know. A big storm keeps blowing you south.
Yes, Mandy, and Nick Hendrick's dad,
Kendrick's
King
dad.
King Darred Kendrick. But
But yeah, man. Okay. This is if you're jumping in to see us and for the first time, this is likely how most of our chats are going to
Yeah.
run, and we will. You guys can jump in and guide us along the way, but you do have a topic up.
yes,
I think let's get to topic, and then from there we can kind of get rando again. At
Cool.
least let's check off our homework box.
I did the work. We have to show the work. No. So the topic that I wanted to just say, 'cause it's. I guess it would. I don't think it's really controversial, but it's resurrection. Does it basically? How did it work throughout the editions? It's changed a bit, quite a bit since first edition. Does it break character immersion? Does it remove consequences from players? I can just go revivify for a 300 gold diamond. I don't have to really worry too much. Or hey, there's a cleric that'll cast Raise Dead. If we do him a favor, he'll lower the price down to, a couple hundred gold or something like that. Like, first off, mechanic wise, first edition, I believe it was you had your initial constitution, and you could be resurrected as many times as your initial constitution would allow, taking a -1 each time. So if you had a con of 15, then you could be resurrected 15 times, and after that you were just dead. But that also screwed with your max HP because that's where that stat goes. And I believe also I don't think first and second edition, you can correct if I'm wrong, but I don't think first and second edition differed very much on resurrection.
Very minimal.
Mm-hmm.
5th level.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't getting res before I guess your cleric was 9th level. Before 9th game level before they're getting 5th level spells.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Or was it 8th or 9th? It was kind of on up there.
That's more granular than
you-
my knowledge goes.
Well, no, it's okay. It's okay.
I'm
But
happy
it
I knew
was-
this.
It was,
I'm happy I knew the spell slot.
it was far less accessible as it is now. Now, once your character, 5th edition, you hit level 5, revivifies a level 3 spell that is an auto load on a lot of your clerics. It's almost built in to have it on. So
Well, not
I
just
don't
your
wanna get
clerics,
into
but your rangers can cast Revivify.
Rangers, bards,
Yep.
bards, certain sorcerers,
Hmm.
some warlocks,
Yep.
druids. No, druids don't. They get a
Oh, they get
uh, turn you
reincarnation.
into a stupid monster.
Yeah,
Yeah,
reincarnation. Then you get to
turn you into a
roll the
stupid
stupid
monster.
D100 and go, oh, I'm coming back as a bugbear. Damn it.
I'd be like, can I reclass into a fighter, please?
No, you're a
Okay,
level 5 bugbear wizard. Have fun with that.
fine, I'll multipass. Fight ass. I'm kidding. But
But
anyway,
mhm,
the more not necessarily in the technical bullshit, but more
mhm,
what you were talking about. Let's start with that.
mhm,
I don't necessarily think it cheapens the experience, but again, I am coming from a bug life,
mhm,
a point of view where I'm limiting the amount of magic and the amount of resources in the lower level game
mhm,
to where revivify is an issue.
mhm,
You know, they get a diamond, maybe two diamonds when they first hit level five,
mhm.
maybe it depends on the campaign.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously, but you also hit a certain point where no matter the level of party, they'll have plenty of resources for dealing with it.
Mhm.
But that's why we get things like disintegrate and things like turn them into undead along the way. Hit them hard enough with a freaking a wraith on the last hit, they turn into a specter on the spot, baby, and you
Yep.
can't resurrect that shit.
Nope.
So we have tools in our toolbox if you're genuinely concerned about um, the suicide blonde, as I call him. He
Yeah.
don't care. He's the suicide blind. He wants to die as much as he can, get rezzed, and he'll get bored of his character, and he'll come out with another character, and then he'll
Hey,
run that until he gets bored, and then he'll
mhm.
suicide out to another character. He knows he'll res him until he's bored.
If you want to play that way, I suggest you go and be a zealot barbarian that you don't have any
No
material
cost
cost.
stuff in the racial punk
Yeah,
ass.
that's right. Just the spell slot. It's all it costs.
Yeah, right. Make an orc, and make a zealot. That way you get one for free.
That's right. I'm down. I'm up.
Yep. I'm
But
good. I'm fine. I'm fine.
mhm,
But I mean, I think that's a really broad look at it because in regards to certain campaigns and certain settings, it is more or less prevalent and is more or less understood. Like my Waterdeep campaign,
example was some
um,
yes, ex Southern Spices. Gummy played a
I,
bugbear barbarian.
hell yeah. There's a lot of temples there, man. There's a lot of people that live there.
Mm,
Short of genuinely losing the body, getting a group resurrected in or near a major city shouldn't be a big deal.
right. As long as you have the gold for
You
it.
know? Well, yeah,
Mm,
absolutely, absolutely, and that's kind of part and
mhm.
parcel for managing money.
But see, that's where
The
your spare the dying comes in really handy as you're maybe making the trek to Waterdeep or Baldur's Gate or these bigger cities.
Yeah, well, and Funky's here. Hopefully, I'm not sure if he's still here. My Desert B group.
Hmm.
They don't have a cleric right now
Oh, okay.
at the table, so one of the NPC clerics can provide them. Maybe now their cleric is a grave cleric,
Hmm.
so he won't res them. He role plays it to that point of you hit zero, I'll heal you, but if you keep, I can't, man. My deity won't do this is my life, baby.
which
So
which god of death did he pick?
he actually, I let him go ahead and take Khonshu.
Oh,
You know, he never played. You know, you take what you get. What's
yeah.
up, Gravy? There.
Hey, Grim.
So, but I mean, so I think it's one of those things that genuinely manages itself over the. Thank you very much. Over the course of a game,
Hmm.
you know, but it is definitely going to be a situation to situation. As far as if you're concerned of it becoming a balanced game,
Hmm.
a game changer, control access to the resources and the overall spells from a design standpoint to begin with.
Hmm. Oh, you got blessed cast on you by Mandy.
Let's see if I can save on that Khonshu. Ah, it didn't work.
But it wasn't so much that the existence of the spell breaks the game or breaks the immersion. It's more of just the concept that it's there in the first place. Like I could die and maybe get me back up again because there are uh, games that do not have resurrection at all. They're like you go and play. Off the top of my head, Shadows of the Demon Lord does not have resurrection, so you die, you're dead.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say that it's
You could legitimately do that in Barovia.
I do.
Oh, absolutely. My players know anything above level 4 for on a divine spell.
Hmm.
Ain't
There's no
nowhere they.
gods. How are you gonna? Where's your power coming from? You're lucky that you cast magic.
Well, I assume that there's still gods, but the dark powers exert a tremendous amount of power to keep it contained.
Hmm.
So the little shit, the residual level 1, level 2, level 3 stuff bleeds through easy enough as part of just the weave or the
Hmm.
whatever you want to call it, the ley lines, whatever. But yeah, the
See,
big stuff, because you're saying, hey man, Corella Long, can you bring my buddy back? And dark power's like,
shut up.
no.
Try again. That's a you problem.
Yeah.
You're a lot nicer than I am. Like they get to Barovia until they achieve some milestones. Their channel divinities don't work. Their,
Yeah.
healing gets a little wonky. Sometimes they accidentally heal the monsters too, because figure it out.
Now, in my Barovia, they can't kill anything permanently, so I don't mind them having the
Oh, okay.
extra little shit. Because
Hmm.
you remember, Baba Yaga and Igwolver were down there in the dancing hut
Hmm.
capturing the aspects of death, because what better place to catch death than in the fucking domains?
Right.
Which, at certain points, as they get the second aspect, undead don't stay dead redeaded. They're necrotic. They pop back up, and
Yeah.
there's like a couple arms that they'll kind of look back behind every once in a while, see if the arm's still creeping down the road. Yeah, it's bad.
Hmm.
It's absolute farce. If you're
Yeah.
a Strahd fan, you hate me, and I deserve it. But if you love What We Do in the Shadows, and if you love Young Frankenstein
Mhm.
and all those dumb silly movies, you'd love the game.
No, no. See, that's where I think that the statement you just made is slightly incorrect. You shouldn't hate you for that. I love Strahd, and I know that you've said some very disparaging things about my buddy, but at the same time, it needs to be both. It needs to be funny and it needs to be good. They can't. The perfect is the enemy of the good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And in my head, I do have very light episodes of Curse of Strahd where, okay, you guys have been in the shit for a while. Hey, you guys met the Vistani. We want to play beer pong. Okay, we're playing beer pong. Let's go. Well, wine pong. They don't have beer, so wine pong. you know,
Oh
and
yeah,
let them have some
and
fun.
I've got absolute, because it's Strahd. I have to respect that
Hmm.
and put the horrifying and the terrifying and the all the girls at the table are going, ew moments in there to remind them we're in the domains,
Yeah.
y'all. I mean, yeah, we're playing stupid and silly, but
Hmm.
you know, it's still
There's
bad.
there's still words like macabre and viscera that are going to be used quite a bit.
Yeah. All I got to say is moist or clot. Or she was just like, I distinctly got called out like above the table. Can you say something other than zombie clot? Because that's really
That's
ooking
the
me out. I
name of
said,
the
can we name
thing.
him name to Claude?
No.
Uh, Fine, call him Claude the zombie. I can live with it. But I hear a T, I'm upset.
But and I like that. Like like you know way more about Dark Sun than I do, but I don't believe they have much magic at all at Dark Sun. And if you do, you're probably going to be killed
Super
for it.
restricted.
Yeah.
There's still plenty of access to it, but the campaign setting, the politics, and the sociology
Hmm.
really limits not necessarily your access, but your ability to demonstrate and effectively use magic in any way, shape, or form.
So you want to
Now,
use it like subversively.
yeah,
Hmm.
and then you had the whole defiler versus what was it, purifier, regen, every magic user in Dark Sun had to. It'll hit me when the stream's done at 3 in the
Problem.
morning. But because the world Athos Dark Sun setting has been drained of its magic
Hmm.
over aeons and aeons of abuse. Um, the Basically when you use magic, it uses life energy and life essence. You're bleaching
Oh.
the soil around you. You're pulling the life and the moisture out of the tree next to you as you're preparing your fireball spell, for example.
Hmm.
Now they can cast, at mechanically speaking, they can cast like a normal, whatever your casting time is whatever your casting time.
Sure.
The opposite version of that had to learn how to cast their magic without bleaching the land around them, so their casting times are a little bit longer, and they
Hmm.
don't have access to certain spells, but they're favored by the lower classes,
Hmm.
kind of seen as the folk hero kind of magic users.
I see.
Now, if you were a cleric, you were working for one of the god kings of one of the cities. They are the divine sources of power in the world of Athos.
Hmm.
So you're part of the great machine, good, bad, or ugly.
You're the man. Part of the man.
Yeah, you're the man. So the
Hmm.
challenge with playing fun campaigns in Dark Sun was uh, the ones that went smoothly, everyone tended to make two or three of the same classes. You
Mm-hmm.
know, were a bunch of okay, fighter, rogue, monk. Let's do it.
Yep.
No one can shoot us with magic, so who cares, right? And
Right.
which is a legit approach.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but building the mixed class and subclass and races that we're used to in 5e, that's a tough place to stick on Athos in the what is the fucking capital city, Ishtar? It doesn't matter.
Yep.
But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The breadth and width of options our players have in a normal 5e universe simply do not exist in a playable way in Athos right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think there can probably be, but guess what? You can throw away the king priest if you want and put a pantheon and use everything else. It's okay. That's the beauty of D&D. I love the idea of Dark Sun, but I don't like the idea of a limited form of this that. So adjust it, man. Make it work.
Yep.
You can move the timeline forward 100 years. That's how it was 100 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But life has returned here and there and the other, and
Yep.
so on
Pockets.
and so forth. So
Mm-hmm.
I have a little bit more magic to play with, man.
Mm-hmm.
Play with the timelines.
So I started reading the Dark Sun campaign setting, and the first paragraph it's like, from the effects of a war many years ago, and I'm like, Eberron.
Yep. Well, you remember that first day when I was like, I got to play with Grim and Mandy. I get to play, and I don't want to be an idiot. I've avoided Eberron since looking at the. I mean, I can't say avoided. I look through books. It's
Mm-hmm.
fun,
Mm-hmm.
but I've never really immersed myself in any way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
You know, other than conversationally. But yeah, getting into it, it was what maybe the second stream. I was like, son of a bitch, this is pre-Athos, baby.
Yep.
This is just pre-Athos.
Yep.
And then we went down such a rabbit hole.
I'm still in the rabbit hole. Actually, Eberron
Oh,
brings
yeah.
up another good point on Resurrection too, because as I said, we were all so excited. Yeah, we're excited. As I said before, Eberron's a very low magic but common magic, and so your head priestess for the Silver Flame temple is probably going to be level 7 cleric kind of a deal. There's not a lot like resurrection magic. It exists, but then there's like probably a handful of people that can cast it. And so
Yeah.
when you the thought there is like, hey, I did an Eberron campaign and I'm at level 20. You are probably one of the best spellcasters, the strongest spellcasters in the setting.
Well, and I think that bears mentioning for all of our settings.
Mhm.
You know, when your players are hitting level 8, level 10, they're kind of movers and they should be movers and shakers in any of their settings.
Mm-hmm.
That's always been the case. You know, even in first edition, that's when you got your title. Level 9 was when you got your title, a lord or
Mm-hmm.
a magus or a high priest or whatever, and you were seen as kind of more of an equal amongst society, whatever your setting was.
Right.
You know, so yeah, when your characters are level, starting to get level 8, they should be important people.
See, I think we lose
But they
sight
should
of
also
that.
be recognizable people. So
Yeah.
keep that in mind.
No,
They're murder hoving to level 8, they got the whole fucking army chasing them.
exactly. They're like, you're not coming into Baldur's Gate. No, you're not. Fuck out. Fuck out.
Straight up.
The whole flaming fist is gonna come after you.
And eventually my action economy will win, y'all.
That's 100 D20s. I'm gonna get you eventually.
I was about to say digitally, I'll do it. Don't tempt me with a good time.
Yep. But I mean, that's a good point too. That I think that when you read a lot of lore, you kind of get lost in the mix of. You're reading about the Bigby's and the Elministers and the Morden Canaans, and you're like, man, those guys are Mistress Chosen. They are strong spellcasters. Like, they are not the norm. There's a reason why there's the Circle of 8. That they were the 8 most strongest spellcasters, I believe it was Greyhawk at the Circle of 8. Yeah. And so that's kind of
Up
where
and
my
down, but I was about to say it was clerics and magic users. I think they had an illusionist as well.
Mhm.
Different subclasses back in the day, but yeah, they were the for the most part. As far as a unified group standing on each of their own, it's arguable. If you do a lot of digging into the Cannon Fire Greyhawk site's got a lot of good information, and it'll give you works cited. But most of that was really Dragon magazines that really put a lot of that scale of power out there as the game was going. They were just names of superheroes, man, Batman and Superman.
Exactly.
And all. You couldn't touch these people. And if Morden Kanan showed up in front of your party in first edition, heads were getting bowed and knees were being taken. Whereas Morgan Kanan shows up in 5e, it's like,
What's up?
let's take this fucker. Y'all.
I remember sitting there. I was reading the Descent to Avernus campaign, and it literally says, Morton Kanan comes and goes out of Avernus as he sees fit, and I'm like, oh, wow. That was I mean, you had to go and journey to a tower to ask a wizard to do a plane shift spell to get you into Avernus so you can continue the campaign. And this
and Curse's job, Morton King got beat up and thrown at the bottom of a waterfall.
If you go with the idea that the Mad Mage is Morton Kanan, which I tend to like that one.
Hallister, man.
Hallister is the original Mad Mage, and if you've run, the Dungeons of the Mad Mage, the dude's twacked. He's definitely twacked.
You're supposed to be. I mean, that's where, Hallister was part of the Dungeon of the Mad Mage before Waterdeep was a city.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, technically the caverns were down there between the Duergar and the Darrow, where they're one of the few gigantic mithril deposits underneath Mount Waterdeep.
Mm-hmm.
Hallister digging down, building his lab, as is prone to happen, poke a hole, run into a cave full of people, and just blow them the fuck up.
Yep.
And then keep building down and building down and building down. Of course, 1E, 2E, it wasn't really down, it was
out.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I kind of forget because I'm mostly like 90% 5e, but you go back and look at the old books and some of those dungeon crawls were just exhaustive. Every time I look at a map of all the floors of Castle Ravenloft, all the 110 rooms that are in there, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Shit, I have to prep all this.
Shit in the 80s. That's what I was saying when we were starting the stream. I played the shit out of Strahd because it was a outstanding map that we just hadn't seen anything like. Dude, I reused that map for a couple other fights and a couple other campaigns. You don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's right.
That Ravenloft map? Yeah. What'd you put in it? The fucking Orc Lord or Warlord with the Baylor Commander. Let's do it.
But I mean, that's the other thing too, is like, we're spoiled nowadays. We have DM's Guild that you have all this third-party content. The OGL license has made people able to create content for 5e so in a voluminous manner. It's so saturated right now. You could find something to run just about anywhere. Back in the day, it's like, well, I'm going to reskin this, this one adventure, and we're going to run it this way. It was orcs, but now we're going to use kobolds with a dragon, a young dragon. It'll be fine.
You know what's been a long time since we played? What's that? What's it called? Keep on the Borderlands, man. How about we have a fucking portal into the 9 hells open in each one of those 9 caves and see what happens.
But see, that's also the mindset of you showed up to a session with 10 character sheets and you're like, I'm gonna die. It's gonna be fun. And
Jim, can I promote one of my retainers? Because I'm out of dudes. Sure, go for it, man. Give him a level, get him on the paper.
But I don't. A lot of DMs, there's a lot of negative about players being too attached to their characters, and you can't kill my character. You know what? I see a positive and a negative to that. You got to go and play the game. You got to go do hero shit. You got to go and fight the dragon. You could die, but at the same time,
straight up 10 characters. That's some rookie numbers.
That's just session 1, Bane God. You play Temple of Elemental Evil. You're bringing at least 10 per session.
You go through some bodies.
Yep.
And I guess that's the other thing, kind of touching back into the resurrection issue. We didn't do a lot of resurrecting. It was a grind. Yep. You were just chewing up characters. The joke of this is Hellspite the 7th. I just don't want to fucking roll another character. Sure, he's going to die too. Maybe you should use a different name. They might live, man.
No, this is my dude. to be fair, Jim, in the early days of when I was playing D&D, up until I got out of high school, I had never bought armor. I literally was like, oh, what are they wearing? Oh, I'm going to pick that up. Does it fit me? Cool. I'm going to put it on. Because I don't know if I had a stingy DM or what, but we didn't ever have gold. You guys find 10,000 gold, and we got robbed on the way back to town. Thanks. Appreciate.
Taxes, baby, taxes.
That was, yep. You're going into the city. Oh, you have to pay the gate tax. There's the adventurer's tax. You have to join the adventurer's guild. Otherwise, we're going to arrest you for being a disturber of the peace. You're like, that's not in the book.
Doesn't have to be punk.
That's some semblance of that. It was probably not that
Yeah.
nice, but
Well, I
mhm,
mean, but yeah, the whole thing of that kind of comes back to the consistency and the application across the board.
mhm. Now and
Is they know
also,
what to expect
yeah,
at an early point in the campaign. They know it's tough. They know it's a grind,
hmm,
and they know that they're gonna die. Then, like Bane said, 10 characters ain't shit.
yep,
But I think the downside is with the intent. I mean, don't. There's a caveat to this statement, but with the intent to build a collaborative, constructive story,
hmm,
does it not help to keep continuity going over the course of a campaign with relationship stories and all of that? So I think I don't want to say discouraged, but I'm a little bit, I try to put my players in a position where uh, they can kill themselves,
hmm,
but any situation I put them in that I intentionally put them in has a way to get everyone out alive.
right,
In my, I always kind of joke over on my stream. My job is to lose every fight gracefully. It really is.
hmm,
I want the fight to be tense. I want it to be fun. I want it to be cool. I want people to go, whoo! I want people to flipping me off. I want all the shit talk, but I want my players to live so we can go do the next thing.
absolutely,
Because if I kill them, we're still going to do the next thing, but it's going to look different. It's going to feel different. We got to go
mm,
over here to get a couple more people. We got to go back there with these two guys to get them rezzed,
mm.
and then some other shit going to come off to the side. And but the thing over here, man, So I'm not
That
saying
is
that we
true.
should give them
Hmm,
wins,
hmm.
but for the purpose of moving campaign along, we should plan for them to succeed. Should we not?
Yeah, and
You know.
and it's good as a DM. I don't know if anybody else does. I really have never talked about this before, but I kind of scale how hard the fight is with how much HP they should lose. So like an easy fight, a couple people might get hit, but a hard fight, they're gonna go about half HP. If it's a deadly fight, I'm trying to get them out of there with like skin of their teeth.
Uh, I typically go by rounds,
Okay.
but again, sidebar. This is for paid and public games. I want to keep. Doesn't, more often than not, it doesn't work, but to kind of plan the pace of the 5 hour session that I'm running.
Hmm.
I don't want to bog us down in a 5 hour one fucking encounter type of a thing.
Fair.
So I try to plan around. Okay, this is the entry room. They should be able to deal with this in 2 rounds. If they're stupid, the next room will come in. It'll become maybe a 4 round fight, but it'll be a bigger fight and they'll clear 2 areas. So I plan based on the character's damage output, and put an appropriate amount of percentage to hit monsters based on their attack bonuses compared
Hmm.
with damage, their total hit points, and then I try to make sure that I'm within uh, 40% to 30% chance to hit them with just a average encounter.
That's
I know it
fair.
sounds like a lot of stupid math, but that's how I play my encounters.
Well, to be fair, it is stupid math, and it's not stupid because you like you said, you want it to be difficult. You don't want to just give them the W without them actually feeling like they did anything. If you're
It's
walking around,
just like,
mhm. Go
go
ahead.
ahead, sorry. No,
Oh,
go
okay.
ahead.
If you're walking around level 8, level 9, like you said, you're a mover and a shaker. How are they supposed to feel the heroicism of coming back going, yeah, it was a tribe of kobolds and we just mopped the floor with them? No, they're not going to brag about that.
If you find your group wondering, I don't say necessarily, you'll never really hear it from them. They're always braggarts, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But you'll start getting the feeling from them
Hmm.
when encounters are too. Damn, it took. Why do we even roll the dice for that, man? We could have just scared them away.
Hmm.
You know what? Is GM like, you're kind of fucking right, dude.
Yeah.
This group of three bandits ain't gonna jump fucking dude walking down the street with a flaming sword. Come on, think John Wick, dude.
Yep.
How many of them assholes would have stayed home if they knew it was John Wick? It was
Baba Yaga. I don't. I feel.
real.
you know,
Oh, I left my gun in the car. Excuse me.
it's the one. So I'm not a big Star Trek guy, but I do enjoy watching the odd episode. But I'm like, if I look down, I see a red shirt. I'm like, oh no, not today.
Yeah, our job is to put a bunch of red shirts in front of them, man. And
Hmm.
let some of them be badass, some of them, So
Less so.
that's kind of how I put it. So I mean, for me in modern game, or I don't say modern, current games,
Hmm.
resurrection isn't as much of a deal. I've killed a few characters,
Hmm.
but the other thing you gotta keep in mind, man, it's not really hard to not die in
It is
5e.
not hard to not. I forget. I think
Let me rephrase that. It's pretty hard to need a resurrection
That
or a
is
raised
true.
bed in 5e. That's the other. I think that's a better way to put it.
I think it was Havoc RPG. I think I might be misquoting, but he's like, if you die in 5e, you did something wrong. It might be your fault. And in most cases, that's true. It's not true in every single case, but the amount of healing that's available, huh? Oh,
That was a very
Drake takes.
common.
Oh, that was Drake takes. Thank you. Um, the amount of healing that's available to you, the amount of bonuses that you get, the if you happen to make a really good party where your class features and your abilities stack on each other really well, um, man, you can. Sometimes I don't. You can't use CR with some of these groups because, oh, this is a hard fight. This is not a hard fight for them. The wizard's gonna come in
Pretty
there.
cool.
He's gonna fireball the group of them. The fighter's gonna come in and hit them with fucking 2 attacks and a bonus action attack, and half of them are gonna be dead.
Yep. Yeah, that's like my Desert B group. Okay. Bonus action, interest mark, first shot with my subclass. Okay, blah 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 blah. That's 36 damage, legit damage with
Mm-hmm.
Colossus Slayer and all of that kind of shit drops
Mm-hmm.
in straight out.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rogue. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and use my bonus action to hide. Okay, I'm gonna shoot with advantage on my attack. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh look, I'm a 10th level rogue. That's a lot of dice on that sneak attack, dude. So these two have done about 60-ish points of damage
Yep.
in the
One
opening
round.
salvo.
Mm-hmm.
The opening salvo.
And that's
You know,
not
and
that's
then
not getting into the meta multi-class bullshit. That is just straight class progression.
one ranger and one rogue straight
Mm-hmm.
out the gate,
Mm-hmm.
and then little Miss Warlock will use her free item interaction to drop one of her scorpions on the ground, and then she'll use her staff of the swarm to use an action to cast insect growth on the
Mm-hmm.
motherfucker. And as soon as it comes in, it attacks on its turn.
Yep.
And then I've got the sorcerer back there summoning an air elemental. That's my round one in a fight. Okay.
Yep. And you guys are tapped,
That's
right?
my first.
No.
Something died early, really quick and early,
Really.
or two things died if I put small things in there.
Yep.
And then I've got a scorpion. Or if she's feeling spunky, she won't put the scorpion down. She'll put spiders and do giant spiders and keep shit webbed.
Yep. And then you have
Yeah.
no movement.
These players aren't a good player. I mean, when they start synergizing, when
Mm-hmm.
players really understand their classes and realize what each other can do as well as they can, yeah, the combat rating goes out the fucking window, man. Come on.
Yep. I will never forget when the first group that I DM'd, the original Mandalorians, when they got their groove on right after they got out of Barovia. Barovia's it wasn't rough for them mechanically, it was rough for them emotionally. I feel it was just dark, So when they got out of there, they kind of like synergized, and next thing I know, the rogue is giving the barbarian flanking and then bonus action disengaging on her turn, and after the barbarian goes, then rushing over the paladin, giving him flanking, and I'm like, stop it, stop it.
Bane combat rating counts for anything?
No, I don't think
I
so.
think it does for a new DM.
Okay, that's fair.
I think it's a good baseline. I think that or not even a good a new DM, a new group.
Mm-hmm.
You still have to have some numerical value ID. Obviously, if you're a really experienced DM, you've done the encounter so many times, you know what works, and that's
Mm-hmm.
But there was still somewhere along the line where we used XP value per encounter in calculations back in 1E, 2E. It's no different. So I think they're important for a baseline to understand where does my group start and how do they scale up from there. Just in my opinion, I think they can count for something early, but after a while, yeah, you know your group better than the guys that made up the numbers know the group.
Yes.
Your group knows how to play their characters better than the guys that made up the numbers know how to play their characters.
Mm-hmm.
So it matters for a little bit of time, and that's it.
Yeah, I learned very quickly. I think they were like level 16. I threw one of those Molly Diaz at them with like 3 or 4 Bahirs and I think maybe a slaughter too, and it was just to see what would happen. And that was when I polymorphed. But one thing is, I polymorphed the sorcerer into a sheep. And then they murdered the hell out of everything. The barbarian who had like 80 feet of movement freaking just closed the gap and just started wailing on that Molly Diaz. And they just
And their
followed suit.
stakes are so high that your coil attacks or your swallow attack off a bee here isn't going to hit.
Nope.
They're going to dodge all 6 of them lightning bolts, and half
Mm.
of them are going to resist the damage. And
Yup.
so I hit you with 6 bee here lightning bolts, and you took 14.
Yeah. he. I mean, you sit there and you go, "I'm gonna nail that barbarian." You're like, "Oh wait, no, he went totem of the bear. Shit, I have nothing that does psychic damage. Great, he's taken half of everything. Crap."
time, time to put that kobold fucking bard up there that's just going to sling vicious mockery every turn.
And then
Fuck it.
they do their stupid kobold cry, and everybody gets advantage. You're like, "Damn it!"
Yeah, no
but
kidding.
as a DM, it's appreciatively frustrating, I would say. To your team starts to mop the floor with these harder CR. There's a couple CRs harder than they should be able to fight, but
Fun.
that's sitting there like, damn guys. And that was something as a new DM that I had to get over, was the frustration of, I put together this fight. It's supposed to be hard. You guys just mopped it up, and now I'm just sitting back going, that would have been a really hard fight if you guys would have not done this, this, and this. Good job.
Yeah.
You got to appreciate an ingenuity.
Well, I mean, and I'm gonna, from my point of view, and please be on, be honest in your response. How many more times do you have to fight dumb or nerf or move badly during a counter than fighting at the fucking top of your ability? For me,
More,
it's got to be 10 to 1
yeah,
of playing dumb, playing silly, playing. Oh, that group goes left instead of right,
yep,
even though they see everything going on.
yep.
I could have used those reactions on that, but I didn't. I'll just say I was saving them for some. I mean, and it's not, and I'm not trying to be disparaging towards our
No,
players,
no.
but sometimes that's because, oh God, I put too much shit on the
There,
board.
I've had those fights where it's like I load the encounter. I'm like, oh, that's too many guys. Hold on, wait, delete, 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 and then they barely still squeak by, and I'm like, I'm glad I deleted those other ones. Jesus Christ, what
Yeah,
was I
exactly,
thinking?
exactly. It's like, oh shit, that's a lot of skill. Oh, and they went over there. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
well, let me make sure I move these guys slowly in clusters through difficult terrain,
Mm-hmm.
and just try to lob some softballs at them when either to help them learn tactics or because they're not that good, or yeah, like I said, probably on occasion I fucked up and put too much shit out there.
Yeah.
It happens, man.
I mean, guys, it's at the end of the day, it's still a little bit of guesswork.
Yeah.
You know, a couple of nat ones and you're screwed no matter how well I CR the fight. So,
Yep.
we a lot of it goes into just, okay, we're gonna let that one go. Sometimes, I do say too that I think that the more difficult fights, however, bring out some of your more innovative players, that they don't just do what their character sheet says. For instance, I'm gonna talk about Mandy because she's here, and I'm gonna kind of give her a quick shout out that they were fighting some giant wasps, and these were very high CR giant wasps. They were from the Book of Giants. So
Right.
they were up there. They could paralyze you if you failed a save, and I forget all the things they could do. But she's like, we were doing Children's Feast, so it was one of those little one-offs that D&D Beyond did. And
Yeah.
she's like, so we're at this druid's house that he's a farmer, right? He's like a gardener. I'm like, yeah. He goes, he has a garden out front. I'm like, yeah. And she's like, what do you think that he would have diatomaceous earth? And I'm like, yeah, that's been around forever. I had her explain what it was, and basically crumbled up pieces of seashell that bugs hate. It's a natural
Mhm.
pesticide. She's like, I want to go grab that, and I'm gonna jump off the barbarian. He's gonna throw me up in the air, and I want to just dump this all over one of these wasps. I'm like, okay, deck save. He failed, and boom, can't fly anymore. And then they just hacked him to pieces.
Oh
But
yeah.
that's the kind of thing where I'm like, if that would have been an easy fight, they would have never thought of something like that. There would be no need to. So,
I shoot, I stab, I
yep,
shoot. Yeah, absolutely.
yep. And to be fair, like Mandy was playing the rogue in that campaign, and just hit, dodge, hit, dodge. And is it effective? Fuck yes, it is. Is it fun? No, I don't know. I don't think so. But when you start getting into using the terrain, using your environment to help you combat things, like I feel like that is, as a DM, more fun for me to watch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's. I feel like I'm playing.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, it almost becomes, it kicks back into my old war game DNA.
Mm-hmm.
All the Battletech, Starfleet battles, fucking Avalon Hill war games. It's like, oh, it's on now, shit. I got to pay attention to where I'm moving. I got to pay attention to my placement.
Mm-hmm.
I got to really pay attention to setting up my next move and my next move instead of monster walk forward, go bank, your close target makes sense, bonk.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? There's a gap. I'm shooting that gap in the move and a dash, and I'm getting that fucking wizard's face. Even if he misty steps away,
Mm-hmm.
that changes the dynamic slightly. So looking for those opportunities, I got to be more cognizant of how I'm playing with those good groups, and I love it.
Yeah, I will. Another time that pops in my mind is Grim was playing a paladin. I threw a champion of pain on the table. I'm like, that's going to give him a rough time. And he walked up. He's like, I'd like to grapple him. I'm like, sure. Roll me. And he succeeded on his strength saving throw. He's grappled. He goes, and I'm going to throw him over the cliff into the lava. I'm like, you're going to what now? Yeah, I'm going to move him over here, and I'm just going to let him go. Dex saving throw. Failed it because armored, and just fell into the lava. CR 19 creature dead. And it was
lava don't do that much damage unless it was way the fuck down there.
It was way the fuck down there. It was a good 60-foot drop. There was nothing he could.
6d6 falling, and then you're going to take 8d10 on the initial turn on the... No, 66 on the fall. I want to say 8... I think it's 8d10 on the lava.
Mm-hmm.
He could have lived. He should have got his ass out. Lava, flinging lava back at the ass. You get to make a dexterity save as a huge gout of lava flows off of his arm in your face. Shit.
That is fair. We do play that lava kills.
Oh, you play lava kills.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good to know for my campaign.
but see, at the same time, though, because I can do that to them as well, and they know that. Because you discuss things. We don't do... Oh, I can do this, but you can't do this. Well, he was a forge cleric, so he actually could have.
Yeah, well, I mean, and honestly, a fire giant can wade through that shit like it ain't no big deal,
exactly,
right?
Yep.
If you're immune to fire, lava don't hurt you, so it don't matter.
Exactly. Though you're taking the fall damage, and that was it. Like, oh.
I mean, and I use the damage that's there, you know, but it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, the flip side of that is like... ran a one shot with some Glabrezu, and they were grabbing a hell ship along the river on the sticks.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my players did that gentle reminder. He's like, "You guys haven't played with him before." You have? Oh, I did. Oh, I haven't. This is so. Just keep in mind that he does not initiate, but understand that anything you think you can do, he's going to do to us. So while you have that Glabrezu grappled at the edge of the boat, it ain't gonna be a big deal for you to throw him in the river Styx, but your character's gone if he throws you in it.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck! So all of a sudden they're like maneuvering to the inside of the
boat. Never
Never
mind. But see that's
I'll
fair
throw him
though.
in the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know, y'all throw two of you in. Bye.
Yep, I've heard like there are some DMs that don't do flanking. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a DM option, but the ones that don't usually are like, so do we want flanking? Like, yeah, I'm like I can flank you. No.
I provide it for an option for my groups,
mm-hmm.
But I've really been thinking about moving a couple of my higher skill groups to hexes, because that's where I prefer using flanking on hexing, because there's still a lot of ambiguity between the movement and some of the angles on a square.
Mm-hmm.
You can milk a few extra feet of movement. You can weasel an extra angle on a grid that you can't do on a square grid that you can't do on a hex.
Right, exactly.
So yeah, so it's like, I'll run flanks if you guys want to play hexes. You know, and they're like, what's that mean? That means that this is your facing and this is no facing, which means you can't see back here.
Yep.
So a lot of spells like, Silvery Barbs, where when a target casts a spell you can see, you don't get to do that with flanking in my games because flanking is visibility.
Right.
And they're like, oh, wait, no, never mind, man.
And see, and that's something that's, I think, a little easier with minis than it is on a virtual map, because, yeah, we have a facing indicator, an arrow.
Yeah, facing is a big thing.
But it's one of those things where, like, if players don't remember to turn it the right way or whatever, then there's an argument. It's a lot easier just to kind of, for the smoothness of the game, to try to find ways around that. And to be fair, also, I've never had it to where I lost a hard fight became an easy fight because of the lack of facing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But
that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
But I mean,
like I said, for me, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I think that for more advanced players, I would love something like that, because you're pushing me. I'm not, once again, not looking at my character sheet, just figuring out what I'm going to do next. I'm looking at the board going, okay, your move, shit. Okay, where am I looking? I don't even know he's over there. Crap. okay, what do I do here? And it's one more obstacle that makes it more fun for someone who is more comfortable with the game.
And that's legit. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, for me, flanking is if you're in front of me, I'm facing you. I can't see him, which means he has advantage, which means I can't see anything back there, which means a lot of what spells that require a target to see that we use in those situations
Mm-hmm.
don't work if you're not facing that way.
Mm-hmm.
But that gets ignored a lot in how D&D people play flanking.
Yep.
Flanking works when we're attacking, but it doesn't matter any other time. I'm
Yeah.
like, I gotta call bullshit on that.
Well, I mean, I'm guilty of that too as a DM. I mean, there's a lot of things like, for instance, I played around with the remove your armor when you sleep, which is you're supposed to, but at the same time, it's like, are you going to remember that you take off your armor? Are we going to just establish that when you go to rest, you take your armor off? You're going to, if I attack you at night, how are you going to react to that? And then
Absolutely.
it's more of a, I feel that some things, the mechanics are good, they make sense, but sometimes depending on the flow of your session, it can slow it down to a crawl where they have to recalculate their AC. They have to remember that, oh, I don't have that, or you have a shield of this animated
10
shield.
plus
No,
your dex, guys. That's all it is. It's not that hard. 10 plus your dex mod. Don't let him scare you.
That's math, Jim. Math scares everybody.
Well, and I run the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Because your paladin or your fighter's biggest strength is an armor class of 23.
Mm-hmm.
So when they sit in they skivvies in the middle of the night and they roll that rando up and a matcha come running in,
Mm-hmm.
that lets everyone else shine for a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Fighter's like, this is gonna hurt so bad. Does the 13 hit you? You fucking know it does.
But meanwhile, your wizard's back there. I do this shit every day.
Yeah, what are you crying about, bitch? Shut up. So that's why I appreciate the doffing of the Donnie and the armor.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't happen, but maybe 3 or 4 times a campaign, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
If you really unless you run a shit ton of random encounters, that your guys are getting jumped without armor.
Mm-hmm.
But when it happens, I've found that people really, it's a memorable fight.
Mm-hmm. And that's fair too, because like there's even a point where like
that's hard. Counting's hard.
It is. It's hard for the DM too, because I have to count for my monsters, plus I have to remember all your stuff. Just because, not your stuff, Mandy, you remember everything. Grim's actually playing with Mandy and Grim. It's really awesome when you have players that know their character sheet and they can help you to remember some of the things as well. Because when you got 10 monsters on the table and 6 players and you're got to keep track of everything, it can get to like there are sessions I log off and I'm like I just sit on the couch and just
I need to do something just to redo my brain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And I've got, thankfully, most of my tables, I've got a couple of, all my tables, people do a really good job of self-checking and checking each other as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I do have 1 or 2 of those players that's like, this.
Mm-hmm.
And as she's saying it, she's scrolling and holding it up to my face or someone else's face. Because she rule is written. I've always told her, and everyone, read the stuff, not to remember it, but to know where to look for it when you need it, and that way you can shove it down my throat at the worst possible time.
Yep.
Only a little bit, but I mean, rules go both ways, guys.
They do.
And as long as you know them and I know them, we all agree on them.
Mm-hmm.
Gives us that framework, man.
Yep. There's and this isn't. I mean, I feel that to be fair, I think we're kind of integrating resurrection this, so we can just keep it on this path of conversation. This is good. This is good stuff because math rocks can't count. No, they can't count. They just show you numbers.
Yeah, you got to be able to count, man.
But excuse me. I think that like for instance, there are times where I've been that player like I don't want to be the dick, but you're counterspelling and you're 65 feet away. I'm sorry, you can't do that. And some players are like, oh, thank you, and other players are like, dude, whose fucking side are you on? It's like I'm on the side of the game. I'm not trying to be a douchebag. I just want the game played correctly because if you can forget some of the rules, so can
all
he.
You guys calling out your fantasy grounds. I ain't gotta do math. I use fantasy grounds, y'all.
Hey, you know what? Fantasy grounds, it makes a lot of things easy if you do the prep work ahead of time to line everything up. It's
dude, I'm not gonna. Yeah, my people rolling attack number 1. Bless. So 13 plus 3,
Mm-hmm.
16 plus 4 is a 20. Does that hit? Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 2d6. 3 plus 4 is 7 plus 5 is going to be 12.
Hmm.
You could have gone through 2 rounds of combat on fantasy grounds like that. So there's pluses and minuses, like you were saying earlier, on both sides of the thing.
See, and I do
And
like
Dave,
it. I do like Fantasy Grounds because it puts a lot of the prep work on getting everything ready on the table for the DM, so that when the players come in, it just works. And when you're playing the game, it's a smooth game. And uh, yeah, so Fantasy Grounds is actually free now. They really this last Fantasy Grounds Con, I think it was last weekend or the weekend before, they made the announcement that the license is no longer needed to run it as a DM or as a player, which is awesome. But at the same time, they really just make a simple product that works exceptionally well. There's been a couple people that have kind of pinged me to kind of pick it up, and how do I do this? How do I do that? And it's super easy to explain it to them. But at the same time, oh yeah, you have to buy the book still. You do have to buy the Bane. What do you want, man? They took it $50 off the price. Buy a book. I say that Bane's given me books, so
homie probably got the whole library.
I would not be surprised if Bane did have the whole library.
The caddy of VTTs.
It is
Oh
the
my
caddy of
god.
VTTs.
I'm gonna have to figure that shit out. I can, dude. I'm really scared because I can't even figure out how to fucking target a creature the other night. You got
Jim,
it. You don't got it. You got it. You don't got it. You got it. You know, he's like, I'm doing the same thing every time you tell me I got it.
it's just repetition, Jim.
Yeah.
And to be fair, you got between the people in the Discord, you have a lot of people that can help. Me, Graham, Mandy, we can all help you out with that. And the thing
Well,
is,
I've kind of told Cindy I'm dedicating December to Fantasy Grounds,
mhm,
3 or 4 hours a day instead of mapping and drawing whatever. We're gonna figure out how to use this shit because I gotta have it by January.
well, I think that's a feasible goal there. And honestly, I mean, as long as you can roll with your story, all you really need to load are maps and encounters. If you're doing a homebrew story, you can have your regular notes the way you're comfortable reading them. But I will say too, like it is sometimes nice that to go down and physically roll a dice, and the counting out and everything else is it's slow on the other end, but at the same time, I think it's also that you get to hold your dice, and you feel like there's something to be said about trusting an algorithm to roll a dice. Now, I've never had a problem with it, but some people are like, I'm changing my dice color because this dice color doesn't like me. I'm like, God, so there's dice goblins and VTTs too, huh? All right, that's fair. Throw it in dice
Oh,
jail. Go ahead.
superstitions, baby. Superstitions.
But honestly, I think that whether you play physically or you play virtually, the game is the game, and there's a lot of fun to be had. And I don't care what edition you play. I don't care where you play, how you play. The game is realistically past all that. I don't want to sit here and debate which edition's the best. Frankly put, because
No.
I don't know enough about all of them to debate it fairly. And also, there are pieces of all of it that I really like. That's why I was giving you crap the other
That's
day. We should make a compendium of all the editions, and we should make that's a Sisyphean endeavor right there in and of itself. The edition you're playing is the best one.
And I'm 100% agree with Bane there.
Mhm,
Whichever edition you and your friends are playing and having fun with, that's the edition that's best for
exactly.
you.
Hmm.
Period. The end. The low bar for winning D&D. Did you have fun? Did you learn something? Do you
Hmm.
want to play again? You want it D&D, man.
Hmm.
Yeah. Let's the Grandois productions of the online platforms and the talented voice actors and all of the external pop culture social media exposure, I think m- leads people to think that it's bigger than it really is, and they're supposed to be doing more than what they are with the hobby.
But that's fair. I mean,
It's
you're.
a game you're having fun with, and
Hmm.
and that's why I try to stress for my new players.
Hmm.
You came in here because of Critical Role. You came in here because of Critical Role.
Hmm.
Do you expect me to be Matt Mercer? Well, you're paid. Okay, and that's fair because I do voices as part of my games. And which one of you is a paid voice actor?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's right.
Hmm.
So we're not under the same pressures or constraints.
Hmm.
Be yourself, have fun, relax.
It's like,
And I had one girl that had a great time, but her husband said she quit coming to the shop because she felt too much pressure. Because she'd go home and they'd watch that week's episode. She'd go, "Oh my god, I fucked that up. Oh, I did this so bad. Oh my god." Those are professional people, and it's a staged product, and they have teams helping them, sweetheart. Come play D&D and have fun with us.
yep.
But she was so stressed out over what she saw that she thought she was supposed to be near that she didn't want to play, and I hate that.
Oh yeah,
I hate that those
definitely.
images ruin players for the game, man.
That's absolutely true. I mean, you sit back and I've told players before, like I like
Right,
the.
Baines? There it is. Straight up.
Yeah, can you be Travis, Laura, Marisha? Yep. Um, you have to remember, as a viewer, you're watching the equivalent of Broadway, and we're doing neighborhood theater. You know, we might be doing an improv at the rec center for Christ's sakes, but at the same time,
No, bitch, I'm at the theater. I'm at dinner theater in my shop. Only because we have a lot of Uber Eats showing up. That's the only reason I can say that.
Wait, I got to roll. Hold on. But like,
straight up, man.
but that's the thing you have to keep in mind too. Like I'm not looking for voice. If you want to do a voice, do a voice.
Have fun.
If you want to do an accent, do an accent. If you don't, you just want to play a damn game, play the damn game. The important thing is you're engaged. I don't care what you sound like. I'm over here trying to do a woman's voice. It's a fucking high elf female's voice. I'm going, so what do you think? And I'm like, that's a dude's voice. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not a voice actor. I do the best I can. I do a decent Barovian accent because just basically just to piss myself off.
Drunk Russian, easy to do for everyone if you do right.
You say it, I'm gonna start going blah 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 every in my head at least. Oh, hello, I am Strad, blah 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 blah.
Monty. For women's voices. Yes, indeed, that's exactly where you go for your women's voice. I can't do female at all, man.
Oh, that's gonna be my
Try.
that's gonna be
I'm
my
more try to do with honestly with postures and slower pronunciations
Fair enough.
and things like that. Yeah, if I try to do an actual girl's voice, it's much easier for me to kind of take a more of a soothing tone and kind of speak with a little bit more of a pronounced cadence when one of the women is speaking, instead of how the guys all be talking like that shit.
Yeah,
You know?
that's fair. And I mean, like if you're playing a dwarf, you don't have to do a Scottish accent. You really don't.
Sure you do. What do you mean you didn't got to do no Scottish accent?
But
My English, it's like my Eastern European over across to Asia I can do. Western European, I suck, dude. And don't even expect me to do no fucking British or English or, I'm English, don't you know? No, I can't. I cannot.
you know, and to sit back and
Hello,
like you,
Poppet. Would you like to have some tea?
hey, Poppy.
Asks Lady Patricia.
Oh yeah, so I put a vampire patrician on a graveyard encounter in Barovia, and then Bane just wrote this whole backstory for who she was, and like her, and I'm like, well now she has to get away, she has to live, she has to come back now and pepper them with more shit. But I mean that even as a DM, like if you're a seasoned DM, even if you feel like you have to do a voice, you don't. You have to tell a story. You have to tell a story.
No, man.
That's it.
No. They're fun if you enjoy them, but the only way you're going to get good at them is doing them over and over and over and sucking really badly along the way.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're one of those kind of perfectionists, everything that I have to do has to be perfect the first time. I wish you luck. You know, again, I'm not gonna lie. I feel pressured to do enunciation changes, voices, accents to an extent. I'm providing a product for my players.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so but at the same time, I was really fucking bad at it. If it wasn't redneck, couldn't do it. You know, down in Salt Marsh, man, I got everything hand down in Salt Marsh, baby. We got all kind. Yeah, you should know what I'm doing, darling. You should see. You put me in Salt Marsh, I got every fucking person in town. I'm good.
That's fair. But I mean, like for instance, like the hard. I think one of the hardest things I had to do was they went to Saranier, and I'm like, I have to do a Cajun accent. Fuck, that's a hard one. And I'm sitting there in the truck driving to. I think I was going to work, and I'm like trying to. I had watched Princess and the Frog like 5 freaking times to try to get the. And at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm gonna do my damn best, and if it sucks, it sucks. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fallister Fisk. That's my Western voice. Is Fallister Fisk over there in Candlekeep. And they, for some reason, fell in love with that voice. I don't know why. I was more privy to the ogre that had the circlet of intellect on his head.
The dude in the fucking tavern there. Oh my god, I can't remember his name. He ate the halfling and then took the halfling circuit and put it on and felt really bad about eating the halfling all of a sudden. I love that dude.
It's like, oh, I have shiny. Oh, now I have to contemplate the ethics of my past decisions.
Oh, this is bad.
I am not. Am I a monster? And then you just send in a Wreck-It Ralph, bad guy, but you are not bad guy.
You are a bad guy, but you're not bad guy.
Well, if you have anything else, Jim, I mean, it's we're at about time here. We did about 2 hours,
Yeah, man.
so we're there. If you have any closing thoughts or anything you'd like to say, I've had a blast chat with you.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun, man.
Hmm.
Yeah, normally I get home from work, end up running a session every Saturday night.
Hmm.
It's usually 2, 3 o'clock in the morning before I'm finally wound down enough to go to bed anyway. So this is awesome. It's kind of bullshit, and yeah, I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
If you're up during the daytime, if you have a daytime job or something like that, shameless plug time, come join me over on DM Geezer Gym. We hang out doing this kind of thing all day long. It's just not, or for a couple hours. It's not necessarily. It's a lot of me and Cloud chatting.
Yeah.
A lot of me and Chase chatting. A lot of us chatting.
Yep.
But yeah, I have. Usually, it's a tiny little picture of me, and we have some sort of book in the background.
Hmm.
Love to have you guys along and join us for a lunchtime D&D chat. Ask questions. We're kind of looking at monsters for the rest of the month of November, and we will we'd love to have you guys along. And yeah, I'm gonna be looking forward to joining the Mandy machine over there.
Oh,
In the Januaries, I'll get to start running. I believe we're running a Greyhawk campaign.
yeah. You were doing the Harvey one. Harvey one.
Yes, we're going to be doing Houses of Hardby, kind of a politically driven campaign that looks at the dissolution of the Free Cities League from the perspective of whichever perspective the players choose to do. It kind of starts out a little bit up in the air, and as they interact with low-level encounters and decide on which direction they want to go, north or south, their decisions and interactions will decide the future of the Free Cities League, and make lots of enemies and hopefully a couple friends along the way. Looking forward to it, man.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I did warn y'all. It's tends to be role play heavy. This is the campaign that if you've been over on my stream, my every other Wednesday night group, you've heard me say it, and I promise you, they went literally 6 months, playing every 2 weeks. 5 hours per week, middle of September till middle of February, September last year to February this year, without rolling initiative. Okay, they love the role play, they love the intrigue, they love the dialogue. It was awesome. I think we may have missed one session in that 6 months, so it can get pretty chunky as far as talky.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. If you got the right group for it, I mean, and that's the thing too.
Yeah.
Is, we have DMs on Sparkle's Managed channel that are very combat heavy. Other ones do lots of puzzles, lots of mind games, with a lot of downstream effects to those things. And then you have me that just kind of, well, how can I fuck with you today? I'm excited to actually see this campaign. This will be the first expedition into Greyhawk that we've had on the channel, so super excited for that. Once again, thank you so much, because with all of your copious spare time that you're coming by to play with us. That's awesome.
Oh no, I'm looking forward to it. Mandy does an outstanding fucking job putting her product together.
Yes, sir.
And it's actually, she does a really good job of making it fun for the people that are watching as well. It's one of the more not only interactive stream in regards to the chat going on with us, the viewers and the players, but she puts a lot of effort into it, and it's been a lot of fun to watch. It's going to be a lot, and I'm looking forward to participating in it. I could never make any of my stuff look anywhere near as good or as smooth or as functional as hers, so it's genuinely a benefit for me. And number two, I'm on in the middle of the day, man. It'll be really cool to meet some evening, nighttime people. So this is nothing but a boon for me, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Oh yeah, secret time, Jim. Mandy made this overlay, so I didn't do any of this. She made the Greybeard Guild logo. She gave me all the pieces to put. She says, "Put this here. Put this here." So
you are the queen, Mandy. Thank
Yes.
you so much for your efforts, and thanks for your support, man. I mean, it's been great. It's been so much fun. It's really been invigorating finding people of a like mind and a like and great fun people to hang out with and like attitude to work with. You, Cloud, and Mandy and the whole crew. It's been. I'm gonna say it's been kind of one of the things I've really been kind of missing as I've been floating through this DMing content creator thing. It's
Hmm.
like I do a lot alone, and I kind of joke it's like I'm the streamer that a lot of streamers watch, but
Yeah, that's fair
it would
though.
sure be nice if their audiences watched me once in a while too.
But see, and that's the thing too. Is like when you came by for the guest slot, that was a big thing that we all wanted to push was the you know, go by and check them out because
Oh,
you might not want to you might not know what book to read after the player's handbook. You might not know if you want to get into DMing how to even do it. Go watch Jim do it. He's going to go through all of the minutia of what you go through planning sessions, planning. You did that whole, I think it was a week long. You did planning a campaign, just pulling a map and going, we're going to go here to here. What happens on this road here? And
yeah.
that's sometimes it's literally, I'm going to go there, and you see what happens. But if you don't do the groundwork to at least put yourself in the presence of people that can help or that even can share their knowledge, you don't even know what you need to know. So
Yeah.
check out Jim's channel. He's a font of knowledge, and I've literally seen, and I've done this too, where he will be in the middle of explaining something, and then you'll ask a question, and it'll be totally unrelated to what he's talking about. And he'll be like, we're talking monsters. Like, so Jim, I have a question on invisibility. How does it? And he'll be like, oh, so invisibility, and he'll go right into it. He's very accommodating. On top of that, too, Jim, I'd like to say I look forward to playing for you playing on our table again. Not this Tuesday, but the Tuesday after. You're. I'm looking forward to Newman once again.
Uber's back, y'all.
Hopefully, they
we,
might be out of that crypt by the time you come
we,
back.
we have we have a cucumber crisis in Upper Sharon that I need to solve. Okay, this book club thing, this is paying for a lot of stuff, so I've got a vested interest financially, and you guys will probably say, dude, you're stupid, but it's okay.
Okay.
It's fun. It's been a great time, and
I don't. I love the fact that you're like, it's dumb. I care about cucumbers in Eberron. Like, yeah, okay, well, you're a wizard that cares about your spell slots that doesn't exist. So, it's like
that's
we're
true.
all kind. At the end of the day, we're all playing make believe,
You're
and
right, Sparkles. Mandy, I'm
yep,
helping people.
you are
I'm
helping.
I'm bringing joy and cucumbers to the ladies' book clubs of the upper cities of Sharn, man. They love those cuke sandwiches. I don't know why. I'm
Make sure
sorry.
you make sure you get the ones that bend the right way for the ladies that like them to go the right way.
Oh man, you said that, not me.
I did.
Helping with smiles, but yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to dropping back in. That was a lot of fun. Those fights were really pretty tight.
Yeah,
It's
that
like
last
I
one
looked
was.
like a genius only because I got lucky on 2 rolls.
I
I look
I
like a dumbass.
I told Mandy, I think either that night or the next day when I texted her, I was like, everybody on that table should send you a thank you note. You literally, your beacon of hope totally killed the hard, a lot of the hardness of that campaign. Then after
Yeah.
that, they just hit hard. The aura effect didn't do that bad. But anyway, before we could go another hour if I start talking like that. But you come back next week, guys. If everything schedules willing, we'll be right back here next Saturday night, chatting about probably everything but what we're supposed to chat about. But that's fine with me.
Yeah, well, all I'm going to expect of us is to at least check that box.
Hey, we checked the box.
We're supposed to talk about that today. So it might be like I said, literally. Okay, before we start rambling like a bunch of crazy dumb old men, let's talk about our thing, and then we
That's
can do our thing. And
absolutely
fair
fair.
warning as well, it's Southern goodbyes here. We're both Texas boys, so about 7 minutes ago we were like, oh man, we're gonna head out. Son."
Yeah, I'm a fan of the Southern goodbyes. But so guys, thank you for coming by. Thank you for being part of my first stream ever. I hope it was decent.
Ooh, it was fun. Good job.
Getting
Good job.
the chat part is kind of like I have to keep looking, so I will get better as we go through. But once again, thank you all for being here. It means the world to me, and I hope you all have a great rest of your evening. And we will see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. Central for the Mandalorians as they continue to go through the Forge of Fury. Hopefully, nobody dies. They shouldn't, but you never know.
Thanks for
Good night,
listening
guys.
tonight, Cloud.